All right, we're going to start recording, and we should be good. All right, sorry about that, guys. Had a bit of technical difficulties.
Give it time for all the commercials.
Yeah. All our ads.
Sponsors.
We have to get our ads in there, which we don't have sponsors yet, but that was for our ghost sponsors. But anyway, so we were talking about Luis Arballo.
Luis Arballo. So Luis Arballo was, like I was saying, he was one of our, if not the main jiu-jitsu instructor as far as, technicality in the traditional jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But, it's one of the things is everybody brought in something to the table, bro.
Yeah.
Even you at one point in time, once we cleaned up your game and showed you some, you were in wrestling. You know how hard it is to teach people wrestling?
I remember he had some nasty knees.
Yeah.
He did the running man at one point, I remember.
Not that, he even had high kicks, bro.
Yeah.
He even had high kicks.
That was my favorite.
You know what I mean? He even got high kicks.
You watched that Joe Rogan video one time.
I'll give credit to Carlos Romero. Carlos Romero was kind of like the one before I started, before we got into Team United and fighting a lot. Carlos Romero, I liked his style. He's, 7th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah.
This dude was badass. I remember in high school, he was always badass. He could have been a good fighter as well. And this guy showed me how to kick, and pretty much those are the kicks that I taught you because of your flexibility,
Yeah.
And actually Fernie had the same kicks as you.
Mm-hmm. Fernie.
Fernie? Bermudez.
Yeah.
Had the same kicks as you.
Yeah.
Like very long, very snappy kicks.
Yeah.
We're more like
Yeah.
Ilario, southpaw like Nacho.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed. With his left hand. Nice straight punches. I think once we as rough as we were, we wouldn't train with headgear. We didn't have any money.
No.
Chin guards didn't exist.
Everybody had that Walmart mouthpiece.
16-ounce boxing gloves did not exist either. It was 12-ounce gloves because they were the cheapest, and those are the ones I got at Big Five.
Yeah.
And
I remember people coming in with brand new gear, expensive ass Hayabusa gloves, shin guards, everything, just to
You're
get.
like, hey, go and put that in the box.
I remember like looking at him coming in. Oh, I just got him. I could smell them. They're new. That's how new they were. Like he pulled them out. I'm like, oh man. And I remember Ernie just looking at him like, he's like, oh, you want to try them out? All right. He grabs his Everlast all cracked and all messed up, and first drops his head overhand, boom, just goes out. He's like, well, at least you have a good headgear. Take care of you.
Remember we got that first little check from the sponsorship money, and we got that big old box of gloves.
All the Everlast gloves.
All those Everlast
blue and red ones and black.
actually, you were the one who handled that.
We needed them, bro. Nobody could afford anything.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then we got her. Everybody's like, hey, dude, somebody had a hookup in San Diego. I don't know who it was.
I think it was Justin.
Somebody
was Throwdown at the time.
Yeah.
He was sponsored by Throwdown, or he was out there on the pro team.
Yeah. And that's when he left to San Diego, right before the military.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he came back with some good
Bunch
stuff.
of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
But back to you, Danny. Let's talk about you, man.
Oh, man.
When did you go what brought you to our gym?
Oh, bro. Well,
You said you started in Heber, so you got to see
everything.
You got to see the
Oh yeah,
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, from the jump. I never got to train with you in your garage.
How long have you known me, Danny? First of all,
bro,
Yeah, forever.
he's known me since I was young.
I think he was probably 11, 12 years old.
He drove your school bus?
No, my neighbor Ephraim Schiffer. He used to be like all into muscle cars way. He was
that's right.
13, 14 years old way, and this guy, everybody knows him back in the day.
You're a big old Camaro guy, huh?
Camaro Mustang.
Don't you dare start with
Mustangs. So back in the day, Danny, I used to look at Danny. He was like,
Ahora le ponemos el Cobra Kai.
There's your name now, Cobra Kai.
Danny and all those guys, because Ephraim had long hair.
Yeah.
They were kind of like they were grease monkeys, but what do you not stoners, way? The guys that used to wear Red Wings, long hair with caps or whatever.
Stoner, bro. He was a stoner.
You just described Eladio.
But he was one of them guys, so I know him. And
I just remember him being inserted, and I was just like, I didn't know you, and I was like, fuck, if he's gonna work, he's gonna work.
Yeah.
And we didn't have time to be like, and we made it very clear. I told Nacho, I don't know why I was always.
Yeah.
It was always you and Nacho for some reason. Did you know him more?
Yeah, it's because what happened at the time, I was towing, right?
Yeah.
And Nacho used to do towing as well. Well, Nacho had got hired part-time at my company. And so he came in and he, you know, because he was doing towing, but he was also doing security at
Central?
no, at the casino.
Oh yeah.
He was doing
Golden Acorn.
The Golden Acorn. So he came in, and I remember they told me about him. Oh yeah, we got a new hire. I guess he's a boxer and stuff. So you know he does training. All right, cool. So we started just chopping it up, and we're talking, and we hit it off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then he was telling me, he goes, I got one fight in, and I'm training over here with these dudes, and I'm like, who? You know? And that's when he dropped your name. I go, Ulises. I go, Cortez? Yeah. He's like, does he have a brother? He had a brother, because my homie and Joe, and yeah, him. I was like, dude, I know him. You know, he's all right. Yeah. So I remember he invited me to your garage, and I was towing at the time, and I think what happened, like, you know, towing schedule. It was always up and down. Up and down. So I was so mad because I didn't make. You guys had already ended the training. I was so pissed. I was like, he goes, bro, we're already done. I go, all right, cool. We'll catch you on the next one.
And it's funny you said it because you always show up in the damn truck and in the middle of warm-ups. He'd be like, we're gonna box. Oh man, I gotta tow. Come on, man, you didn't put the gloves on yet.
Better your next. Damn.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. I remember at that stupid Nextel. I remember we'd be doing something,
and it chirped,
rolling or something. Yeah, like, Danny, your phone. I'm like, you know,
because we had a strict rule, man. Turn your shit off, like turn your stuff off.
But I was working, bro.
No, but I mean, with
Caesar knows all about that.
It's funny you say that. I'm like, I remember even after I was already established, it didn't matter if you were 10 fights in or 2 fights in or no fights in.
Yeah.
If you were in that gym, that door was closed. Your phone, you're off your phone.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I regret that because we don't have enough memories, like pictures of that, because we didn't take pictures, bro.
Videos, bro.
Videos. We were there for a purpose.
Who had a video camera, bro?
Nobody. Yeah,
nobody.
I think the quality was so bad at that time.
But still, though, it's like we didn't have any of it, dude, and we could have, like, you know, promoted it a little bit better, you know, because we were all new to that.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
If we had YouTube, bro.
I mean, we had so much just to do highlights of everything that just came out of that room.
We'd be rich.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, dude.
It was crazy. One day I come in and I'm having an off day, man. I'm you know, home struggles. I'm on the phone back and forth.
Yeah.
And I remember Yuli looking at me.
Gabriel was teaching the guys.
Yeah, I remember Gabe Godinez. Gabe Godinez. That guy, man. I learned so much shit
Shout
from
out
him.
to that guy, man. He trained with some of the
He did
best
everything,
fighters,
man. He sewed his own shorts, which he tore, but he did it.
Dude, he's like a beautiful tattoo artist.
Yeah. He flies planes, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, that guy does everything.
You know, that's a cool thing about it, is that once we established Team United and everybody was like, shit, anybody could come train, you know. Like I said, Alex, he was from Brawley, but he was training with us.
Yeah.
He would come and go as he pleased, and you know, there was no
his brother.
There's no attachment to it.
Jesse
Miramontes.
All these dudes would just come in, and it was like
some of the guys from
can we squeeze in?
Ivy Combat Grappling, you know, would come.
Norwoods.
It was dope, man, because
Pee Wee, all them dudes.
when you show up to a gym,
Robert Morales, we used to cross train a lot. We would go to his gym.
I still train there to this day. He's always opened his door for me.
Morales has always been, you know, part of our group in that sense, because even though he was back in the day strictly jiu-jitsu, he always knew that was part of the sport, so he wanted to be involved, you know. He wanted to, bro, what do you need? What can I teach you? Well, you know, what can I help with?
He had a couple guys fight out of
that was later on, you know. He started, you know, obviously, after cross training and whatnot, a couple of the fighters also trained with him, started fighting, and he had a couple of fighters that he brought up himself, you know, and put him in. But nonetheless, you know, in that retrospect too, is back then, if you weren't in in one of the main fighting gyms, it was hard to learn it because nobody knew it, you know.
And another thing too, like on that point, a lot of people came to us because we did have that in with promotions. We did have that connection to a little bit of bigger of an opportunity to get somewhere, because we would never say no to a fight. And
the name
when they'd come out and they'd be like, "Hey, Yuli, I need a 155er this weekend."
Yeah,
we have.
You're cutting weight.
Yeah, we had.
And there was no saying no.
No,
It was Justin, you need to make 135s. And Justin looking at me like, "Dude, I'm 150 pounds." Like, figure it out, bro. We need money.
We always kept everybody fight ready.
Yeah.
And one of the things, at one point in time, like, it was impressive, man. The resume on, Ruben Salazar, on Pee Wee Salazar,
Aaron Barrios to this day.
Aaron Barrios, not to even miss Aaron Barrios. Aaron Barrios was a great tool for us. When I met Aaron, I met him actually at one of the tournaments, jiu-jitsu tournaments in Mex. And he was just talking shit,
Yeah.
So I'm coaching. I'm coaching my students. I wasn't gonna participate that day, and I'm coaching my students and whatnot. And he's like, he would start coaching the other student, and it wasn't even his student. And then I would go to the next man, and he would do the same thing. He's like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And he introduced himself. Hey, you're Ulises, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? Let's roll."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna participate, bro. I'm handling the kids. And he was like just bugging, bro. He was just talking mad shit. Fine, long story short, I bit, and we ended up, going at it. I tapped his ass out. Yeah. And after that, he's like, "Hey, can I come train with you?" I'm like,
I remember you brought him into the room.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I was sparring with Fernie or somebody, and I was fucking just on a good one, dude. And I want to spar, and I don't. Moco le pegué like a body shot, and he's like, and then Nacho's like, keep going. I was like, it was just whoever you threw in there, and he came in, dude, and he handled, dude. I was like, hey, este cabrón si tira, güey.
Aaron Barrios had boxing from Calexco. He came from Calexco boxing, and he had just came from the Diaz brothers, camp.
Yep.
So he came from a legit camp. Actually, we learned all of our leg locks.
He trained with Jake Shields, right?
And leg locks defense from him.
Yeah.
Like, he came in and he started doing, even that day that I wrote we competed against each other.
Yeah.
He was throwing all these leg locks. At the time, I knew, but more than anything, I knew how to get out of them just by creating scrambles more than technique, And he didn't come close, but he put me in danger a couple of times, and I was like, oh, okay, and then I started taking dominance positions over him, just dominated him with wrestling. Nonetheless, he also had wrestling because he wrestled at Calexco High School. Yeah. So Aaron Barrios was like, at one point in time, he was if that kid would have continued, man, he would have been in the UFC.
I remember Alex Garcia had that
potential.
Same comment. I remember talking to Alex, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? Like, I see at that time, Yuli had taken a little break, and a lot of the big names are gone. There's only a few, and Adon was still pretty active at that time. He's like, you know what? Hey, Ceasar, I think you and Adon have what it takes to go up to San Diego and actually compete against a team. Yeah. So go up with me. So man, Alex opened the door for us, and I went up to Victory MMA. That's where Jock was at, Toby Mata, and that's where I saw a lot of wars go down for Alex. And Adon goes up there. Man, I'll never forget this story. So Adon shows up, and he's right there. He's like, "All right, player, what's going on, man? We'll get some grappling in the morning. We'll come back and spar." So all right, we get the grappling in, and Max Holloway actually makes an appearance that day. German Steven brings him down, and he taps him out, and I tap him out. We're like, "Yeah, dude, tapped out Max Holloway. That's like a big name." At the time, he was nobody, right? Right. Now we look back and it's like, just like we talked about, we didn't know who was who walking in through the door. Yeah. And we
didn't know who Brandon Vera was. We didn't know who the Chris Lieben was. We didn't know who these dudes were.
It was cool, man, because later on, like, Max Mahal was, "Oh, you gonna come back to afternoon, brother?" Yeah, we'll be here. Oh, we'll come back then.
Did he have that strong Hawaiian accent back then?
He did. He said, I remember he had the Hawaiian tattoo still and everything. Yeah. So we go up there, and in the afternoon, it's sparring day. And I don't throwing on the gloves, and it's the first time sparring. I already been there for a month, so I'm already acclimated to that training. It was scary. Yeah. And I tell him, "Hey, dude, I'm nervous, man. Every time I come into this gym and it's sparring day, it's like a real fight." Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, all right, play." And he's warming up on the side, right? Yeah. And he spars this big. He spars this big black dude, like look like Czech Congo. Like, fucking swole, man. Like shin guards didn't even fit him. Like I was like, "Oh, dude, like that's who you're gonna go against first?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." He's like, "Hey, so what's it like?" I'm like, "Oh,
just go.
It's sparring, dude. It's scary. It's sparring." And he's like, "All right." And he goes and touches glove, and this guy just high kick, boom, across the face, gives him a black eye, and he just turns it up, bah, 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 and they're going at it. And then he comes back like, "Motherfucker, I'm not going clubbing no more." He was gonna go clubbing that night, but I mean, that's just Adon. He was game.
Adon was game.
He fit perfect with the team. Like, he never said no. He when it was time to work, I need you to spar. I need you to go. I need you to roll. I need you.
Yeah.
And it was straight from work, dude, straight to the gym. And he's stretching on the way into the room like, you know.
Doing the little muscle. Yeah.
Well, we sit there and do the Iron
And
Man.
his little bird chest.
The Iron Mans at the bull in the rings. And we would just kill everybody for an hour straight. And
he never backed out.
Yeah, never did, dude.
And I remember that day. That was like, for me, I was already acclimated. I got my nose broken the first day at San Diego. So I was like, they don't care who you are. They're hungry to fight. And it kind of comes from an environment where it wasn't new to me, but what they had there was like.
Caesar, but you got to remember too, over there, dude, you're getting seen a lot more. From the outside,
bigger, like bigger names.
Like I remember, like Tony Ayama and all these dudes that were always just gym hopping. You know, los Cage of Fire, los vatos, what the hell was that other guy's name?
Entram.
No, the promoters.
El Eric DeFiero.
From Cage of Fire, what was it?
El Juan y el Paco.
Paco. I remember him just popping in, just like, what the hell is this guy doing here? And just prospecting. So if you get your ass whooped in the gym, you just look at the next guy because it was just so many people.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because in there, you're fighting for your time with the coach.
Yeah.
I mean, here, like, it was cool because you have a tight, close family that, hey, you're messing up, they're gonna pinpoint. In there, they're out and the next one in.
Go to the next
and
one.
it was the same concept here. If you didn't put effort, you got kicked out the gym and you come back the next day.
Yeah.
How much were you paying up there?
I wasn't paying anything. Thankfully, I made the Victory Pro team. I had a fight with Bellator, and Alex was like, "Hey, we gotta kick up the training." At that point in time, you know, a lot of big names had left, and I was stuck with the Romaninos. No disrespect, you know, but I had sparred Romaninos since he was a big spar partner for me that helped me out to where my game is at now because that guy was so game too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's one thing we forgot to mention that Robaninos had some fights and
man, he was underrated, man.
He was
underrated. Like my mini me, bro. My little, I'm like my baby.
No, but you weren't lazy in practice, Robaninos was.
It was funny because there's those people in the gym that in the gym that they look real good in practice, and then in fights they shrink.
Yeah.
This guy was the opposite. This guy was like, in practice, and I remember his little voice. He'd be like, "You think you're better than me?" I was like, "Okay, we'll see." And he would wind up and go in there like a little mini tank, and you would give him your best shots, and then come back forward and give you another fight.
Man, I remember some of his fights, bro. He would not stop, dude.
What do you call those robots?
The sock and robots.
Yeah, that's what he was, man.
Well, that's how we train, dude. You know what I mean?
That's how we train.
The thing is that people don't understand, like for the people that are watching that don't remember how it used to be, is the fight wasn't the training, bro. The fight itself was easy. That was the
fun part.
That's only 25 minutes. I just put in 5 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just got my ass whooped every day, 6 days a week, for 4 hours a day. That was the fight. The black guys, we went home with busted lips, and my wife would give me like,
everything.
"Who hit you?"
Yeah.
Busted testicles.
I remember my mom wanted to come after Yuli.
I remember.
My mom was like,
That's true.
Get that pego, man.
But you're not.
I don't know what had happened in the fight. I think I got hit right, so it was sore. And then I'm rolling with Danny, bro, and Danny accidentally
It was like a shinner or
barely got me with
It was a left tap.
It was a left tap, bro.
Flick.
Dude, I got dizzy, bro. Like, it got swollen. I had to go get an MRI. And then I'm at the hospital, and guess who works at
Dan,
at the MRI? Or the not the MRI, the freaking X-rays way. Or no, ultrasounds. My ex.
Oh
man.
I've seen this before.
Luckily it wasn't her. She was doing it to me. But a friend that I know, which was Oscar, he's the one who ended up doing it to me.
Oh,
and
okay.
And he's like, you know, he checked me out, whatever. I'm like, I'm all fucking scared because my web was like, like this. You know, and I'm just like, dude, you know, and luckily nothing went wrong, but you know, we always had like sometimes you had injuries, like when I fought JJ Ambrose. I didn't know I had a cracked orbital until I think I was rolling with you too.
That sucks so bad.
I was rolling. I think it was you too, Danny. And I was rolling, dude, and like we like barely even bumped heads, dude, and then I got super dizzy.
Yeah.
And mind you, I did fight on Saturday, and I went to train on Monday, like I always did, you know.
That was just something the norm. Like you didn't take time off.
Yeah.
And I got dizzy, and I'm like, and I was like, you know what? I got a fucking concussion.
Yeah.
I'm concussed because like I literally I spun.
Yeah.
And I knew the feel. You know, it's
Yeah. No, you know something's wrong.
And for the impact that we had was very minimal, and for me to feel that it was weird.
Yeah.
My first experience like that was Gabe at Desert Rage when I won my belt.
Oh, in Yuma.
No, this was in Mexicali at Tenido.
That's when they scrapped
that one.
like go to hell.
And it was just you yelling at me the whole time, like, don't fall, blah, blah. Because we went out there and it was just like two tontos just fucking, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I hit him.
It's out there somewhere.
It's somewhere, dude. I can't find it.
Somebody has it.
But my highlight was when I hit this dude. I crossed him, and his mouthpiece just goes flying out of the ring. And it was like, I looked at him, he looked at me, and it was like, bing, bing, bing. I was like, fuck. And now my shirt was ripped because I didn't like showing my little pancita. And Ulises ripping it off. Get fucking stupid ass fucking shirt. What's wrong with you? You better go out there and fuck him up already. And I'm like, all right, you know. And I remember, I think I had like some cheater juice, bro. That ultimate orange shit that Nacho was giving everybody, or I don't know who was giving it to. Yeah,
I came in with the NO explode.
Yeah, the NO explode, and I was like, give me some of that stupid juice or whatever. But I had taken it before, and I was like, just to keep me going. And that second round, bro, I remember he had me against the cage, and it was just bang, 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 just slapping me.
That was a brutal fight.
And I didn't fall. And I remember just hearing Yuli, don't fucking fall. And he just blew his wad, bro, and it was just ping, ping, ping after, and I knocked him out. And I remember falling into Yuli's hands, and he's like, relax and breathe. I was like, congratulate me, man, I won. Like, give me a tap on the back, Jesus Christ.
I got him in the corner like this, and he's under his sobacos, and I'm holding him up, and he's like,
give me a pat on the back, good job, you did great. Like, worst coach ever.
You know what's funny?
Coaches ever.
Usually had that thing where, like, if you were fucking up, it doesn't matter if it was in the room or in a fight, he was gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Like, he did that shit to me three times.
There was no, and like I said, when it was our time to fight, it was our time to fight, and it was focused on us.
Yeah.
You know.
But perfect example of that and about being a good training partner, a good coach, a good friend. You know, I could return the favor for him when I was fighting JJ Ambrose.
Yeah.
JJ Ambrose, we had an intense first round. He climbs on me like a damn monkey, tries to guillotine me.
Yeah.
I go over and slam him, and I elbow him to finish the round. And I go to the corner, and I'm like huffing and puffing because this guy just had me in a damn choke, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, why the fuck you breathing hard? This is a first round. You got more than this. Let's go. And I was like,
Did you not see?
No, I was like, he's fucking right. Like, this ain't shit. It's fucking round one.
We did 10 times.
And
10 times
like,
harder.
It was funny because like that, that feeling of being tired
goes away.
Goes away.
That one was at Nido, huh?
That was at Nido.
That was at Nido. That was in that cage, that like 20-foot cage that barely.
That was the cage of fire.
That was cage of fire.
I went to go pick that thing up in Tijuana, bro. In my Avalanche.
Yeah.
And we had it that same day.
So I go pick it up, I can't bring it back because the damn cage is lifting my truck up. Oh, not lying, bro. So I didn't know this till I'm going. You know how Tijuana has all these roads. So I'm going to one of those roads, and when I hit the dip, it lifts my truck up way. My two wheels are in the air, and I'm like, and then it didn't land hard. It really tapped, and I'm like,
it floated.
Holy shit, right? So and this is late at night, bro. Like like always trying to get shit done. I call Alex Camarillo, one of our friends, also helped us out a lot. And he had a F2 2500, right? A Chevy 2500. I'm like, hey, compa, I need a paro. This is it. Where you at? I'm about to cross the whole time. I'll meet you there. I'm not lying, bro. I roll up. He was already there, man.
No shit.
He was already there. I did, en lo que hice línea, he already got there. It was like 11 at night. I go back. For that fight, I was asleep 15 minutes before the fight. I was dead asleep. And they're like, harassing me like, hey, you're going up next. I'm like,
we were taping you. You were sleeping.
Dude, I was asleep, bro. Because I was so fucking tired. And that's the day that I said I'm never going to promote and fight on the same fight card again because it was rough, bro.
That's what I didn't like about going to Tijuana because it was always work.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even when fucking greatest fight ever, mine was Montro.
Oh.
And like that's a good example of how we never fought with beef. Like I never was mad at anybody who fought, bro.
Yeah.
You know, we played the part to get there.
Yeah.
And it was always me against these big old fucking dudes.
Ilario always, bro. He was always
biggest
fighting.
dudes, bro.
Right
You're
now,
always
when he was
fighting
talking
the
about
biggest guys.
Aron Barrios going and doing that, that was Ilario's fight.
That was what sold
He was
tickets.
the
bro.
shortest,
Honestly,
smallest guy in his weight
It
class.
was
you know?
it was what sold tickets, dude. But what got me, like I said, about Cage of Fire when we brought that up, and fuck, that fight was, I never had beef with anybody until that day. And we weighed in, and Nacho's sitting there, and we had this game plan with Monstro. He's a heavy-handed dude. You got to take him down. And I was like, okay, your jiu-jitsu's good enough.
Yeah.
And he started with this mom stuff and about mom and my wife, and I was like, we're at the weigh-ins, dude. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
Nacho hears it, and Nacho's.
Yeah.
If you know Nacho's family,
Nacho.
bro, and Nacho how family oriented he is,
Yeah.
because he's got like 30 kids. This dude's like, we're changing everything.
I can laugh at that one. He's the only one that beats me.
And he told me we're changing it up and you're gonna knock him out. And Nacho straight out, he's like, you're left-handed, bro. He's gonna come in with a lazy fucking jab. You're gonna knock him out.
He had a lazy jump.
Bro, like clockwork, dude. We went back to the room. You were getting an IV in the bathroom. And we were all,
IV bags.
because we were all making weight.
The bathroom's the most sanitized place.
Yeah, that's what we had to do. And I go out there, bro, and you had that. You were the main event, and it was a fight. It was fight that dude, and I was the first time when we fought in an arena, bro. Like we never seen that.
5,000 people.
5,000 people, dude.
The MMA was big in TJ.
That's the Eric Morales.
Yeah. So we hadn't gone to the cage, but you don't put it into perspective until the lights are on and everything's going and the smoke and the fire and all this shit. And we're like, all right, cool. That's the first time I was nervous about fighting. I've never been nervous about fighting.
You couldn't tell, eh?
Nah, dude. But I was nervous because when they started, they were throwing fire up and shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this, dude? This is WWF shit. And you don't remember, but Mexico was always prided on their events. You know, that's how they got it.
Yeah.
And we went out there, and Nacho's like, straight hand, step down, slip it, and straight. Kept on yelling at me.
See, and that's a fight that I stepped
You
back.
were in the.
You know, I was there, but you know, since Nacho's a southpaw,
Yeah.
Nacho was directing that part of it. You know, and we always, like I said, it was like we had such a great camaraderie and chemistry, and we knew each other, and we knew our weekends and strength. That you knew that when a certain point in the fight came, you shut up because the other coach is going to talk.
Yeah.
You know, and he has the floor at the time. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes, you know, we're all yelling or whatnot. But, you know, at the end of the day is, you know, for that fight, like Ilario is saying, you know, he's a left hand. And we knew Monstro had a weak jab, you know?
Yeah.
And I told him, you could control him in the cage, you could control him on the floor, you control him on the stand-up.
Yeah.
And listen to Nacho on the technique. And dude,
when he said, dude, it was insane. I never hit, dude, I broke my hand, and I still have that love bump.
No, I remember.
But I remember I just stepped into you ready? Jason Herzog was the referee.
Oh, shit. He was
he was a referee. And he hit me up on Instagram one time. He's like, I remember this fight. I was like, holy shit, this guy's famous now, you know? But I hit him so hard, bro. I remember I broke the doctor in the back said I broke his palate and I broke his nose. I don't know if they were looking for his teeth, but I hit him so fucking hard, bro. Yeah. And the stadium went quiet, dude.
He was coming in, so it was like a...
It was disgusting,
It was just like he just collapsed, you know?
And there was a reporter there from Ivy Press, Louis Anderson. He's a council member for Hobo now, and that he keeps talking about it all the time. I was there, bro. I saw it. I have video of it. I was like,
that's like the epitome.
Yeah, dude.
Like
and it was just the craziest thing that where you listen to a coach and you do exactly what you told you. You're not gonna be scared. You're not gonna worry about it. It was the environment. Like Tijuana was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I messed up, bro.
Cage of Fire brought in a different game, bro. Like a lot of people don't know, but they collaborate with the UFC.
Yeah.
They were looking, you know, they were like farming Mexican fighters back in the day.
And that dude was supposed to be like some UFC prospect or something. Like I was.
Monstro was badass, bro.
He was amazing. I love, dude.
Monstro was badass, bro.
But this what got me.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Nonetheless, but I know him in a personal level.
Yeah.
He's a cool cat, but he was just talking off.
He was trying to.
You know, he got into his character a lot.
Yeah.
You know, remember? Monstro got into his character. He's like, and you know, he would, you know, that's what helped him pump himself up to the.
Yeah.
But it had no effect on him, you know?
Yeah.
You know, he was more scared of the freaking arena than him. You know, it was not so much, but that was a great fight. You know, and even Nacho ended up fighting. Who knocked him out faster? You did. Or
I
he
did. I always have that.
I know you always talk shit about that.
But the only reason why I did it faster because I got to referee the fight.
He's like, hey, but I knocked him out faster. I knew it.
Yeah,
and I refereed that fight in
that was
Ensenada.
my first event.
That's another thing, you know, that was cool, you know, and I'm happy. Like, we go to TJ and we go as spectators because they invite us. Cage of Fire invited us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, but it was you and Diego, or no, Alex and Diego first. We go over to, and they're looking, and the refs suck, bro. And I told Paco and Juan, I told them, which became, I still talk to Paco up to this day.
Yeah.
We're compadres.
Yeah.
Juan obviously can paz descanse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I became really good friends with these guys, and one of the things, what was I saying? Jeez,
about the ref.
The refs.
Oh, the refs suck, bro. So these guys were bringing in big names. They had the first heavyweight UFC fighter.
UFC fighter?
Yes, heavyweight.
Oh, Brandon Vera?
No. Jeez, Google it. Somebody Google it. The first UFC heavyweight. No, not the first UFC heavyweight champion, but like he maintained the record for a while and whatnot.
For knockouts or
No. He was in the UFC.
But all I know is that the referees didn't understand the sport.
They didn't understand the sport, you know?
It wasn't on them, bro.
So I told him, like, hey, wait, you know what? No, esos judges que onda, güey, vale madre, güey.
Yeah.
I said, no, pues es lo que hay, güey. No, mi cuñado y el Alex, no. Mi cuñado y el Alex, they could ref.
Yeah.
You know, same thing how I threw you in.
Yeah.
and they're like, neta, Simon. Next event comes around and Diego got to do
Evan Tanner.
No, dude.
Check it out. When I remember Danny refereeing was when we went to Ensenada for Horny Industries, a la Alma.
That's what it was.
It was Horny Industries, and I was supposed to fight. I was supposed to fight this dude from Millennial MMA.
Damn, that's a good team.
Amazing team.
He fought Cadillac way. He fought You guys remember?
Cadillac, yeah.
Cadillac versus.
And anyways,
Weight Chip?
No,
Weight Chip.
He fought Weight Chip.
No, it didn't happen. He broke his wrist.
You never happened.
That was like
that was the big fight that was supposed to happen after Monstro, and that would have been like my crossover fight.
Yeah.
That would have been like, and I could have probably beat him. You know what I mean? Because at that time he was good, but he was just a like a brawler, and that would have been a good fight for me.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's gonna say I could have beat him.
He was made. His styles for that fight were made for Ilario, just because Weight Chip was so long and he had nothing on the inside close boxing.
Yeah.
He was very long,
and
long kicks.
Yeah.
We told Ilario, and this guy doesn't fight long. He fights.
He's gonna close it.
He fights in the pocket, you know.
Yeah.
So we're like, we already had a game plan for that.
Yeah, I was
too.
so upset, dude, on that fight, bro, because
that shit got canceled twice.
Yeah, I know. And then the thing is that I don't want to say nobody was. We didn't duck anybody. Nobody ducked anybody.
No, it was legit.
It was legit. He got hurt. It happened. And even the coaches.
He was game, bro. At the point in time, he was a prospect. Eric Del Ferro. He was training with Eric Del Ferro. He was about it, you know.
Mm-hmm. And the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm never gonna regret any of that, bro. Like I mean, it wasn't our time. It wasn't my time. It happens for a reason, and we're in a position.
Oh, go for it. Heat break. Just go straight down, make a left, and go straight. You'll see the door right there.
But yeah, dude, that's where I think that's where I started just going down more because I didn't make it. You know what I mean? And I was okay with it.
The one that's closed, bro.
He's got a poop.
Oh, they're all
straight ahead.
Straight one.
So yeah, dude. So like I decided to just focus more on training.
Yeah.
You know, after Tijuana, it was getting these guys into those fights.
Yeah.
And getting Justin and all these guys to go over there.
Yeah.
But when we went to Ensenada for Horny Industries and we got to referee, bro, that was amazing because that cage that they built was like straight up chain link fence with postes.
And then that was square. Oh,
and it was sprinkling, remember?
Yes.
And it was a big old slip and slide.
Yeah, because there was a lot of moisture in the air and everything, and we kept having to wipe it down. And I remember Nacho said, he was, hey, bro, before I get in there, just make sure that thing is dry. No
That was
problem.
my first magazine that I get to. Remember Grappling Magazine? They did a story on that, and I was like, I had a mohawk. Remember I had that little mohawk?
Yeah. You always had the cool hairstyle.
And I remember they did an interview with me, and they made it sound like I was this prospect coming out of out of Mexico. I was like, I'm not from Mexico, man.
Yeah.
Because it was
Rodriguez.
Rico
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez,
That's what it
bro.
was.
Rico Rodriguez.
I kept thinking, who's he talking about?
Yeah, I remember he judged Rico Rodriguez fight. Rico picks up this heavyweight, bro, and slams him.
breaks the floor.
The floor breaks way, it bounces.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
damn.
he was like 300 and some plus. Like Rico was super out of shape, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was super heavy. 300 plus.
That's when he
350
started.
easy.
He was training with Ken Shamrock, wasn't he?
The Lions Den.
That
Yeah.
was the old school
Yeah.
Lions then
Yeah.
with Manny
Yeah.
and all those.
Yeah.
Yep.
The original.
Dude.
And that's when Diego and Alex started reffing, you know, and then I got you involved in the
Yes,
wrestling.
man.
You did your first one was my event or another
No,
event?
No, it was Ensenada.
Ensenada. Oh yeah, for Juan.
No, it was for Alma.
For Alma,
for the industry.
Juan,
Yeah.
Juan was
Yes.
So that's what I was telling him.
Because
is that
Justin fought in that one.
Justin, Joe, Ernie,
Nacho.
Joe.
I was supposed to fight that dude from Millennial. He backed out, or couldn't make weight. I can't remember because that was the first fight I was gonna fight at 195 or 205. I think I was like, I'm gonna cut weight.
I was gonna say 195.
No, but I was way underweight that day because I
I
wanted
don't
to
think
lose
that was
weight.
in your menu.
I have pictures to prove it, bro. I was skinnier-ish that day. But when they dropped the fight, I told Alma, I was like, she was gonna pay this dude $500 to go rap. I was like, dude, me and Danny will do it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll take care of it. So we went to that shitty little Walmart or Calimax and we bought black
Nike
polo
stole their-
shirts.
I bought mine at Big
Foot
Five.
Locker.
Oh no, I had a black. I went to buy a black polo.
Yeah, yours
shirt.
was all black.
Oh, I thought you went to Foot Locker to steal the shirts.
It
Well,
looked
no,
like
but we
Foot
were
Locker.
DJ. So like that whole weekend was amazing, bro, because pura pinche comadera and yeah, I'm like,
Cuando no.
you guys fight, bro. Go to the room. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Man.
That was a cool part too, you know, of Cage of Fire, Paco and Juan, that anytime, you know, I would, you know, most of the time that we would go, you know, if I was fighting, weigh-ins were on Fridays, and whoever went with me, bro, they got taken care of from
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I would stay till Monday and Tuesday, bro.
Man,
like,
And I had to drive the van.
That's one thing I always regret. I never got to fight in TJ, and I never got to fight in Cage of Fire.
I drove it home.
Never
Well,
got to
under
be part of that.
circumstances,
Yeah.
it's not
It's one
going
of
to
those things where
wine.
it's like,
You had to drive home that night. But that was an interesting evening.
So let me ask you this: what was one of your favorite, your most favorite fight
man,
that you ever had?
I think it has to be there's a lot of fights.
There's a lot.
Probably one of my favorite fights. It probably is when I think has to be Joe Torres.
Joe Torres?
Joe Torres? My Joe Torres?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they fought at Calia.
Yeah.
Sir.
Calia or Nido?
It was
Sure.
at Nido.
Nido.
It was at Nido.
It was at Nido?
We went
Oh,
to
Yeah,
Calia
dude, I
after.
didn't corner for
Oh,
anybody.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't corner for
No,
anybody.
I
and
remember
Joe
you
Torres
stepped away.
George Torres
I
got
remember-
mad at me, like, who's going to corner me? He's like,
That was a
figure it out,
very
bro, like-
controversial fight.
It was
Because that's-
controversial
that's-
because
yeah.
it was local. You were getting trained here, and then he was one of his guys.
It was
It was one of those things.
It
like
was-
That was the whole thing we were trying to get away from, you know, but
Yeah.
it was
That's when he
inevitable
pulled away,
because
though.
at
He
the
pulled,
time,
he pulled
Yeah.
away because we weren't.
Right.
I don't know if he felt like we weren't giving him the push that he needed, but he was on his own, dude. He was doing his own
Yeah.
thing.
well, it was kind of like when
Even
you came
Justin
to
pulled
El
away at that
Central.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cuando
'cause Joe and
that's
all
when he
those guys, they
because
ended up
Justin
staying.
came with you, Caesar. I mean, Pee
Ernie,
Wee, Ruben.
yeah.
They were all
And
they all
they
followed
stayed,
you,
yeah.
and Joe was coming too.
Yeah.
Pero ya no,
Yeah.
like he.
And you know what's crazy? I
Ya de
never,
repente se
That's when they started.
desapareció.
That's when they kind of started that ATAP thing in Hopeville.
yeah, I
With
never,
Logan,
I
because
never
Logan
got
Lane,
to. Oh,
Logan Lane,
another guy.
He was one of the OGs because he fought Cage of Fire. You know what I mean? He was already
King of the Cage.
King of the Cage, yes sir. King of the Cage. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he was already kind of getting into that mix where,
He had
hey,
his own-
let's go. But
Yeah.
dude, Logan was just a Hopeville knucklehead like us. You know, we just fight.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean-
and then like later, like after Joe, when Joe kind of went
when
back
he
to
backed out,
Hopeville-
I
yeah,
came in.
Yeah,
that's when
right,
I.
yeah.
That's when I started. 'cause-
So I didn't want to feel, and then like, because you were with me and he was with me, and I didn't want to feel bad. So I was like, hey man, you guys take them, and I stood back, and that way,
Yeah.
she's
honestly,
damn, bro.
that time, because in that I came in like within 2 months, I had already had my first pro fight of training. thanks to like Yuli and Ilario, Nacho, and everybody. Was so in the first 2 months within that year span, I had 7 fights.
Oh shit! Yeah, you were pretty busy.
I was
kept everybody
hungry.
busy, bro.
Yeah.
Like one of the things is if you train for a fight, and I personally, because of my time, once I train for a fight, I would take 2 to 3 fights within a month or 2 months because
I remember that.
And if you weren't hurt, why not?
Yeah.
that was my theory.
Because honestly, the ass whooping came in practice.
That's when a lot of it happened.
And that's the kickback that Ilario was talking about. Like we would tell fighters, "Oh, hey, get ready," because you had to be ready to fight.
Yeah.
What
and
the
if you
fuck are you
said
training
no,
for?
Yeah.
And God forbid you said no, because we had guys who were like, I don't think I'm ready. My mom doesn't. I'm like, bro, you know what? Get out of here, man. Like, I don't have time for this.
Man,
You want to be in that room? You want to train? Let's rock and roll.
I was hungry, man. I couldn't wait. Like I remember.
I think the hungriest ones, bro. Chivo and Justin,
Justin,
bro.
I remember
Justin
during that
was,
fight.
Justin was better than what he knew he was. You know? He was a kid that played it.
He just got his purple belt, blue belt, right?
But man, some of the fights he lost, he shouldn't have lost. Yeah. Ruben, another one. I remember when they had a Cage of Fire. I did a co-event with Cage of Fire right there at El Fex.
Yes.
I was supposed to fight in that fight, and I broke my ribs.
Yeah.
Nacho's brother broke my ribs.
Yeah.
Kicked me to my.
Yeah, because you had the X-rays with you.
Huh?
I think you have brought the X-rays with you.
Remember we were looking at them to the promotion.
Yeah.
And obviously my sister was like, you can't fight. The doctor obviously told me that too, but I was gonna do it anyways. And my sister's like, you have a broken rib. It could puncture your lung.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't understand that?
Yeah. He's like, I can still fight.
Yeah.
I think we all had.
Go to the ground.
I fought Juan Volker. I think that was another good fight when I fought with one hand. I fought Juan Volker.
Yeah, you broke your hand.
I had my hand broken.
Oh yeah.
And I fought 5 rounds with a broken hand, and I mean, that's just we need to make excuses thanks to these guys. I always had.
I think for me, well, my favorite fight for you is when you fought Luis Magaña. That's my favorite fight.
That's one of my favorite fights too. I mean, I know I was defending my belt, and that was a big thing. I was already kind of established.
Yeah.
And I think at that point I was a favorite.
Yeah.
I just liked the fact that I was always up until that point I was always an underdog, and I liked that part. But that was a crazy fight.
But
man.
in reality, Caesar, dude, we were all underdogs because at any promotion, if they didn't know us, bro, who's these guys?
Yeah.
And when we would stack a card, seriously, we'd get enough people because we'd take 10 guys to weigh-ins, and somebody would back out, and it would be easier to squeeze us in than to lose the fight.
We'd be sitting there. We'd just be sitting there
praying,
waiting.
like somebody lose.
I remember showing up to go in the Acorn, and we showed up like 10 people, and I'm just sitting there.
How many people miss weight?
And
it was like 3 or 4 people that missed weight. Like, hey, let that thing.
I remember this guy from Arena, Andrew Jackson, steps on the scale and shredded. I'm just looking. I'm like, he's about 160.
I can take
155. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, and then his fighter backed out. And I looked at Louis. I was like, I could take him.
Yeah.
I've been training, and it's already 5 of us fighting.
But what you didn't understand is there's still contracts we have to go through, and we still had to go through all the legalities,
medical and all that shit.
Oh, dude, because
I mean,
we
were like, let me at him. Like, I want this.
You were hungry.
And I mean, I think I had. Gabe was on that fight card. Leah was on that fight card.
Yeah.
Julian Sidhu was on that fight card. We haven't even mentioned that guy. Was
Julian, oh my God.
Julian, Wee Wee.
Julian, man, those guys are.
Hilario brought a bunch of guys from.
Bro, like I said,
Julian had no background.
Nothing, zero.
He was a skateboarder.
Yeah.
Skateboarder.
That guy was a natural. Yeah.
But the thing is that is like I can't take credit for people just showing up. Like I threw the bone out. Show up.
Yeah.
You stay, you don't get out of here. The one that's still fighting to this day that came with us early in his career was David Enriquez.
No, Enriquez.
Dude, that kid, hands down, probably still got more than anybody in Hopewell right now.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's still active. He's still doing a lot of boxing.
Active.
Well, I judged his fight over here with Fernie Lara.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was one of the judges, and I was just like, damn, man.
He still looks good.
Dude, he's shredded,
David
bro.
Enriquez is good, bro. He's always been a really good fighter. Very disciplined. Self-disciplined, which is hard to find.
Yeah.
Self-motivated, which is hard to find.
Yeah.
He's always stayed in the game on his own, and he always looks.
He's the kind of guy that I didn't feel bad passing that Hopewell Fight Club down to, because that name got passed around a little bit after I walked away from the sport.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to get into that because it's just a whole different world for me.
Yeah.
I never had any problems with it, but he's the one that I was kind of like, dude, rock the name, bro. Take it. That's you guys earned that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You fought for that name. And the same thing with Team United. There was guys that after we left, it was just like, hey, wait, that's you, homie.
Yeah.
But when our reputation, when like when you see our teams go somewhere, hey, where's Julia at? And hey, where's Ilario? Where's Nacho? I'm like,
they still remember the names.
Yeah, and it was kind of frustrating because there was some names that got thrown out, and I was like, hey, you guys aren't who you say you are. And
Right.
I'm getting calls, you're getting calls like, hey, these guys cool. I'm like, nah, let them have it, bro.
Yeah.
There's time when names get tossed out and you're just like what? Like where'd they come from?
Oh no, that's a good story. I was telling him at the beginning of the cast. I was already out of the game and I was at Fernie's barber shop, or I was getting into barbering again, and this dude was in there getting a haircut, and I don't know how it came up where, oh yeah, I trained this, that, and the other. Yeah, I train UFC. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. And I'm looking at the other guy across from me, and oh yeah, Ulises and Ilario and all these guys, I used to fight. And I'm sitting there, dude, like just trying not to laugh, dude. And the dude gets a haircut and he walks out. He's like, hey, dude, fucking hope to see you at practice. And I just said it. I was like, hey, man, I'll see you at practice one of these days. And he looked at me like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And he's, oh, that's Ilario, bro. That's your coach. And I just felt so bad, bro, because at that time, dude, we were just making shirts and throwing them out.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of Team United shirts.
You saw a lot of Team United shirts, and it kind of got to
that collar, man. That was like the
was the signature.
yeah.
But the problem was that as we got older, those shirts just still got spread around. But people were talking.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm not gonna get mad on that, bro. Like, come on, dude. The people that were there knew they earned those shirts, and they knew they earned our time.
And they happened. The same thing happened to his name. Happened to Team United. It's being carried around.
Yeah.
Other people have used it. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, the weight that Team United carried was big, bro.
Yeah.
Like
the shadow,
we would go like and the promoters weight, and just because the style of the I've always been into marketing and shit, so I always made sure that anything I made was good, you know. So EFC, Team United, and that low across the chest.
That's what it comes down to. Like I was telling him, it was like
the brand.
We copyrighted it. I put a stamp on it. Well, we took the time to
that name, bro, was bought with blood, man.
So,
with blood, sweat, literally.
Not just the material, but the fighters it put out.
Yeah.
That was big because that's what that brand, the fighters that came out from.
We don't gotta tell you, Danny, how many fighters were undefeated underneath our tutelage.
Well, see,
when all us four had it, which was Nacho, myself, Ilario, and Luis. We had him, we had Pee Wee, we had Ruben. I remember I was going back to that fight with co-promoting with Cage of Fire and Effects.
Yeah, what was that kid's name?
He fought this one kid, bro, that was ranked number 3 in the nation, bro.
Yeah, I remember that Pelon. He was bald, right?
I knew him, and I knew his coach, and he tells me, wait, the guy comes up to me like, hey, Yuli, like, why you put this guy on me, bro? I'm gonna fucking smash him.
Because he looked like a little baby-faced kid.
And because he was pudgy, Ruben was pudgy, short, And I told him, you're gonna be surprised. Ruben fucking beat the wheels off this kid, bro.
I remember because we were in the corner,
man.
And I was like, damn, man, he took it to this fool.
The guy was supposed to fight for the title, and the fight got scratched, so that's why. And Ruben took the fight.
Yeah. But you got to remember, you got to give the Salazars.
No,
that name came before MMA.
Yeah, because they have
boxing,
right?
Yeah. They have the boxing.
So when we had an opportunity to capitalize on that, because we're like, hey, wait, smash this dude.
Yeah,
not only those two names, but I think Snipes came out of that camp too. Sniper. Their cousin that would come along, and she would just be that one quiet guy that was like super
didn't train or nothing. Cholillo,
he was kind of just show up.
He has a boxing from the Salazar.
Super quiet, and then you start seeing him. He's super like everybody's talking. He's like just kind of quiet, and then you throw on the gloves, and he starts like chopping people up. He's like, hey,
where'd he come from?
Where's this guy been at? That's cousin just kind of kicks it with us.
And it's funny because you see, Pee Wee's growth. Pee Wee ended up getting some high kicks, straight kicks, very lanky, very long.
Wrestling coach.
And then Ruben had those low shopping kicks to the calf, to the thigh,
crisp hooks,
and just integrated. And that's what we did. Like when I met him, I didn't change the style.
Yeah,
just whatever I had. And we amplified it. Same thing with Ruben, Ilario was already working with him. Hey, what can we do with this guy?
Yeah.
You know, and we just.
I remember I threw him a nacho and I told him, I was like, keep him on his feet and keep him heavy. And that's when we would work that wall work. Remember when we had that one wall where you would just stick your shoulder in their belly and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, pulling ankles and stay on your feet. Stay on your feet.
Yeah.
Stay on
Well,
your feet.
that's when I think going back to that Luis Magaña fight. So after I fought him, we flew out to New York for the Ultimate Fighter Tough 14.
That's right.
For a Tough 14 tryouts.
So
And
tell them what was going on at the weigh-in.
so at the weigh-ins, that fight. I mean, it was. I mean, I didn't really. You know me. I've always.
He was
been
quiet.
Real,
He was quiet.
Yeah, I've always been chill.
We kind of egged him on.
So like, you know, there's going back and forth. There's some comments on Facebook that got treated, and I started getting heated because hey, what's going on with that? You see that? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Why is he saying that? Like, does he think he's gonna? And at that time he had beat Romaninos, I think. So I was already like, well, and he goes and tells Louis, and he's like, I think I'll take him out. And Louis told him, like, oh, you'll be lucky if you get out the first round.
Yeah.
So after
Louis
that,
told him,
yeah.
all I need is one round.
So like he starts posting like pictures and comments, and it goes back and forth. Then it gets a big old thing. And I just remember like
The first fighting face or
I said I didn't like it because that's not what we're about. It was more on their side.
Yeah, so
you know?
I deleted it because I felt bad. Like, you know, I don't want to look like that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
you probably get your ass whooped at the gym. Like,
that's a for sure.
Yeah.
But I remember putting, hey, on the March 31st ain't that far away, and I just deleted it.
Yeah.
I let him see it, and I deleted it. Like, take that down because I don't want to come across as that guy. And then,
Yeah.
And so comes around the weigh-ins, and Nacho's like, hey, go for him. So listo. I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, I started, and he starts rounding me up, and
Yeah.
I felt Danny and everybody. I'm like, so I go at him like, hey, what's up, dude? Put up your purse, and we'll take everything, man. And it came up on my Facebook memory.
Yes.
I'm like, put up your purse,
Put
man.
up your purse. I think I was recording it.
I think that's where it comes up.
I
Because
think
I'm like,
that's where it
put
came
your
up.
money up, dude. Winner takes everything. Loser walks home. I don't care. He's like, no, I need that money.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to go Ultimate Fighter. So
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I could get that money back. I mean, better.
I need that money too.
Yeah, I need that
that's
money
the
too.
hype up to it, bro. That was the hype up to it.
And it was just like there, you go take a walk, dude. Your blood pressure's too high. You're gonna fail the physical, and you won't fight.
Yeah.
So Nacho's like, fucking sends me off for a little walk. I come back around, take my vitals, and then that fight happens.
Yeah.
And then we end up being roommates the next week at the Ultimate Fighter in the hotel. I'm without a hotel.
I remember I saw them post pictures, and I was like, oh shit, they're together.
Yeah, we were in the
like,
same
damn.
room. We were in the same room. I flew out to New York. I didn't have nowhere to stay. They just sent me out like, hey, go. You're gonna try out for Ultimate Fighter. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
no room, no nothing. And so I'm out there, and I'm like, well, Luis Magaña's out there. I'm like, what's up, bro?
Broski.
But you see how it progressed though, because you're gonna come across these people again somewhere
yeah.
down their
Yeah.
career, you know. Like there wasn't room to be mad at anybody, bro.
No.
This was a business that we made comfortable for everybody. Like I don't have any animosity towards anybody that beat me, and the last two guys that beat the shit out of me. Dude, it's not like saying we're homies, but
We're cool.
I have no bad ill against anybody, dude.
Same thing, you know, and going to that, I think that's one of the things is we kind of like implement that too. It's like don't fight with your fucking emotions. Can you shoot your wad?
Yeah.
And you know, same thing. You know, like with Duffy. Duffy was talking all kinds of shit.
I
you know,
thought at one point in time,
Frank-
I thought I was gonna fight Michael Duffy.
you were. You know, so you know he was talking all kinds of smack, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a very respectful guy. So
Yeah.
And I work with his mom. She was a CEO with me as well.
Oh damn.
So, long story short, day of the fight, or before the fight, the weigh-ins, I bump into her mom, and she's like, "Ay, mijo, I hate this, you know, that you guys are fighting. I know you, and that's my
Yeah.
son." And I told her it's the sport, you
It's
know?
a sport.
Business, yeah.
But I come out, that fight was crazy because Brawley and my sister, Susana,
Yeah.
she wanted to throw it down with the people
Oh,
from
my
Brawley. It
God.
was crazy, Brawley. Because when I came out, they started flipping me off and boo,
Yeah.
you know, all the crowd from Brawley.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, once I TKO'd him,
Yeah.
I fucking flipped them off.
I saw the video.
I flipped them all off. I was like this, and I was like, boom.
Yeah.
They got crazy, you know.
I found that picture in 10 Square.
Yep, that's the one right there.
That's the picture of all of us. It's me, Ruben, Pee Wee, Tyler Balucky from Yuma at that time. He's training Victory right now.
Tyler's still fighting too, bro.
He's out there in Victory in San Diego. And we're all there. Luis Magay, I'm right next to him, man.
You know what, bro? It's funny, like, you're bringing up those old names. I mean, not to cut you off or nothing, but when we got into Desert Rage, into Arizona, when we started going into, you know, I'm looking at these people that were on the fight cards, bro. Like, I was a main event to Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum's like, that kid was young, bro. And I was like, I remember talking to him, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. And he was training with Chance Farrar and all those dudes. And dude,
Chance is another guy that should have been in the UFC.
He did the WC,
but he should have been in the UFC, bro.
Efren Escudero, all those vatos from Yuma. He opened the door for a lot of fighters in Arizona, and then when Kane blew up, that was even that manita kind of helped a lot. Yeah. But like the guy that beat me, El Carlos Flores, he got to go up with Tito Ortiz's camp. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I got fucking Nacho. Like, this guy got Tito Ortiz. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was. I wasn't scared, bro. But like I said, the progression of my fight game had peaked in Tijuana. Yeah. You know, because I had already like felt the mountaintop, because that guy was better than anybody that I ever fought in my life. You know, like I cleaned. They called it the Yuma killing, because I killed Gabe, I killed Clint LaRose, everybody from Yuma, I was just smashing on them, you know what I mean? And I just got complacent, you know, with Carlos, and, you know, dude, beat the shit out of me.
Well, see, that's the thing, like, when I was talking with Rafa, and I thought I really I have to give you props, because you had Rafa, and you knew, like, you know what, this is as far as I can take you.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got to move on. You got you got to leave the nest. Okay? So like he told the story. He went to Yuma, got with those guys, with Alex. With Alex, okay? Alex told him the same thing. Hey, you know what? You got to go.
And that's one of the things, you know, when you're talking about this is, you know, and when I started training again, when I came back from my little vacation, you know, I don't want to train, you know, and even when Rafa came up to me, I told him, if I had time, I'll train you.
I had to quit fighting. I was like, already done, because at that time it was when
we all did, bro.
The Team United was kind of watered down already at that point in time, and it wasn't. Yeah. It was just so much like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm not getting the same competition. Yeah. And there's no point in training with that.
And that's where we were all at, bro. Yeah. My head wasn't there anymore. Yeah. And then I wasn't focused. Like I said, big shout out to my girl, because we took a lot of time away from our family and our kids, dude. Like, it was insane. Where, you know, we didn't have, you cut the head off,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you go home, eat,
dude. It was hard, because
back to sleep and do it again the next day.
I needed to be with my family, and I didn't have to ask permission from nobody. Right. You know what I mean? I said,
you already felt it, you saw it,
And it was just like we hit that peak, and there was nowhere else for us to go, because we didn't have those open doors. Like there was nobody telling us, hey, wait, you need to go to San Diego and train. You need to go to LA and train. You need to go.
Yeah. No, we have responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? We had our families. These guys were young. These guys were young. They can do it.
At that time, I think Julie, you know, we kind of got pulled away. Ilario went his way. Luis Arbayo, he went his way.
He had to go live his life.
Yeah, so then
I kind of got taken away.
I mean, you know, I felt like I did say
that motherfucker. You were
no, I mean, I was just like, you know, I was left there like, hey, well, it's on me now. Yeah. I mean, at that time, Rafa was 16, and Rafa was always game.
Yeah. You know what? We dropped the ball with you, bro. But we didn't give you the opportunity to take that leadership role. You know what I mean? It was always about you, and it was like I never gave you the opportunity. Hey, Ceasar, go run the class. Hey,
he did.
No. But like, I wanted him to take more of that role.
No. You know, he did, Ilario.
Like, I just didn't feel it. Like, I should have pushed you more into that role.
Maybe I remember it was him, and also Eddie Santana.
Because I was already gone then.
You were gone already, and so
it was on Main Street.
Pretty much, I stepped out because I was going through a GBI case with Hector Orozco. Yeah. So I was going through that case. Obviously, my attorney told me I couldn't train, this and that, because, you know, all the BS that was saying about me. Shout out to my boy Beater Coffee.
Yeah, I got a name drop there. That was pretty cool.
So and that's when I pretty much Luis Arbao took over, pretty much over the team.
Yeah.
He was working 2 jobs.
Even before then, I already had Ceasar was already in there.
Yeah.
And that's where that little conversation goes about him being on the phone. Because Gabriel was giving a class, and I walk in, and this guy's over here on the phone with his hyena. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I headbutt him in the face. I'm like, put your fucking gloves on, and we start going at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I told him, don't ever disrespect one of the coaches again.
Yeah.
I mean, we got.
You know what I mean?
It was one of those things where it's like, and I respected it and I accepted it, but in my head I'm like, I marked like a hit list. I'm like, Tyson. I remember it's part of it. Richard Norwood. And I left Ulises for the last because obviously, I was like, fuck, I don't know. That was gonna be kind of big hill to climb. So I'm gonna get my hit
Work
list.
my way up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my momentum. But I remember I get dropped. I got dropped that day. I got headbutted. I got dropped.
Like there's so many names, bro. Like
so many, bro.
So many
Like I'm gonna apologize.
Yeah, we forget anybody.
Now. Like you were there. You were part of it. Like it's right here.
Yeah.
Fuck the podcast. Fuck everything else. We know who was there, and we know who put the work in.
Tony Avila.
Tony,
man.
Tony Avila. That was your prodigy right there. You had him under your wing for quite a while.
I brought him in.
You
I
came
knew
up
his
with
brother.
even Mondo, bro. He came in more towards the end, and he's still fighting, bro. That dude's still
Sharky.
Yeah, Sharky too, bro.
Yeah.
From the Pico market.
Yeah,
there was
from the Pico.
I remember talking with he's still fighting in El Trinidad from Alex.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him when he was young, and he took off to the Navy and stuff, and I was like, that kid's gonna be a fighter. And I mean,
I know that
still
kid.
going that way.
I know that kid that since he was, I know his older brother Steven.
Yeah.
And me and Steven go back wrestling, brawling in Central. I always talking smack to each other. It's always been cool. And then he tells me, hey, my brother's gonna go to Central, so just keep an eye on him. So man, this kid's he's just sitting by himself at the lunch table. Hey, come over, kick with us. Me and James Smith, and this guy's just like, he likes to talk shit, man. This guy has a mouth on him, and he can talk shit. I'm like, hey, this kid's game. And then he would wrestle as a sophomore, and he was badass. I was like, dude. Then I finally started fighting. I was like, this guy's legit, man. He's gonna be, he's legit. And he's one of those guys that's still fighting now, and I see him. And Chris Nunez, he's out
Chris
there
Nunez, bro, another guy that jiu-jitsu, great jiu-jitsu practitioner, wrestler. You got a couple of guys here in the valley, bro, that really, and that's what it goes back to. The reason why I sent Rafa out was for that reason, is because I knew that some of us missed the shot, because we didn't have that platform, we didn't have the hookup, we didn't have the right connections, we didn't know the right people.
Yeah. And I'm not mad about it, bro. I'm not mad. I'm not.
It is what it is. I'm happy with my career that I made. I go back to all those memories with all of us, bro.
Yeah.
Right around Tijuana in the back of my avalanche with 15 people in the back, and the front full to the top, and the back seat full to the top, and
you know what? What's good about that, bro, is that the past is in the past, bro, and people look at me like,
if you only knew.
It's one of those things. Like I'm sure you look at clients and stuff, and you look at them like, man, I want to fucking armbar the shit out of you right now. You know what I mean? I'm sure in your line of work you do that every now and then.
She's like, how do you want me to compete against you? You've lived so many damn lives.
And
then they turn my wife to me, and she tells me, she's like, you just have a new hobby every year, something this, and you're gonna try that. And I was like, you get one life, man. Might as well give it a shot. And MMA was one of those sports, one of those activities that. It kind
just
of
the lifestyle,
dude.
Bro.
It put me in a good head place, dude.
Yeah.
After the Marine Corps,
and people could talk shit about it, but how healthy did we live,
bro? Insanely healthy, bro. Yeah. Insanely healthy. People.
A lot of people are. Oh, you used to be a party money. Yeah, I used to train 9 months out of the year, and 1 month here, 1 month there, and 1 month there. I got to party. Yeah, I'm a party like an animal. Yeah, I'm gonna party for 2 months straight because I'm not gonna get to party.
I still remember like I would show up and I'd go out with you guys and I'd go and party, drink beer, and then but I bet the gym the next day.
Yeah.
Because I knew if I wasn't, I was gonna hear it. You want to go out and party, but you can't go and man.
And that was every weekend because it was either my house, your house, everywhere, dude.
Yeah. Hey, those pictures.
Yeah.
That was your birthday party at my house on North Street.
You guys did a surprise birthday party for me.
You rolled up. You were towing. I think you were towing.
No, what happened?
You went to San Diego to buy a car.
I went to like Anaheim
to buy a car.
To get a car. Yeah, and I remember Avila was at your place, and they're like, "Hey, when are you gonna get here?" You know, I go, "No, pues I'm on my way." And I think I hear somebody in the background.
We're watching the John Jones premiere.
Oh,
yeah.
The first fight against Stephen Bonner.
Yeah.
Where he double overhooked him and tossed him.
Yeah, and I remember I rolled up and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh shit, it's my party." Get over here, cabrón.
You're a little late.
You fucking asshole, get over here.
But then, like I said, going back to that, bro, that's where we created a family. You know what I mean? I could trust any one of you with my kids. I can trust you with my wife.
It was cool,
and that's a lot of things. Like I said, not talking shit about other teams, and I've been around other teams where I don't roll with that guy because that guy does this, and I don't talk to that guy because that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
No, if we had a problem, bro, go to the room and handle it.
Yeah.
And figure it out.
Yeah,
there was never fights or nothing.
We don't talk. We haven't, talk. We message here every now and then on, Facebook or whatnot, whatever. Rarely at that. But este güey es uno de mis carnales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, as soon as you guys walked in, bro, it was like, hey. It's like we picked up right where we left off.
If you know me, yo lo saludo con un beso, güey. That's the way I am.
And I think anyone
Danny, you know more than anybody.
I think getting that stamp of approval like that stamp at that point in time was more than just this guy's a good fighter. He's a good person.
Oh yeah,
and that's what
it was everything.
And we projected that onto the kids, bro. We were very respectful. Yeah, we had a mouth on ourselves, and we cussed and we were loud, but we turned into But we turned into a thing where the parents saw the kids that these kids are getting disciplined, bro. These kids come here and some of them learned, some of them didn't, some of them left.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we created a family environment, dude, because we had moms sitting there, we had dads sitting there.
Senior, plain and simple. Going back to Rafa, Senior was one of my favorite
people
parents.
in the
You
gym.
know, I knew Senior because of my dad. They're both Christians, whatnot.
Yeah.
And you know, so once he told me that, I had a great respect towards him. You know, nonetheless. So when he brought Rafa over and Ponchito was 4 years old, bro.
Yeah.
You know, little pudgy
man. He wasn't with the hammer, remember?
Yeah, he was a little rebellious kid, you know. Yeah. So pretty much what I liked about Senior is that he just let me do he had the trust in me and all of us, not just me, to that everything we're doing it for the benefit of his son, you know. He saw me standing on Rafa's stomach. He saw me kicking Rafa. He saw me punching Rafa. He saw me slapping Rafa.
He was upset with me one time. He was upset because I threw Justin on him.
He did.
He pulled me. He did it in the right way. He pulled me over, and I was like, "Dude, trust the process. Like, just understand that this is what we need to do because he needs to be here mentally to kind of get past that little."
Because he was Christian, it was kind of rough to him. Because Ilario had a mouth on him, you know. So
it was like
controversial. And Rafa, you know, he's raised old school way like us.
Yeah.
So you tell a kid, you know, bad words, bro. He's taking it personally, and Rafa's over there freaking boiling because this guy's like, "Hey, you fucking dumbass, get all the way up, all the way down. What are you doing? Put your hand on, you know, whatever the case may be." Yeah. You know, him coaching him, but nonetheless, Senior always trusts us. And I saw your podcast with Rafa, right? Yeah. And going back to about releasing him, I told him, it's not so much about having. But it is so much about having, at the level that Rafa is right now, bro, he needs, because I haven't actualized myself with the training. Yeah. I know for a fact there's more techniques, there's more, there's more things that he could be learning, there's more people he could train with. And I told him there's going to come a point in time that I can no longer train you. Yeah. And
he's doing that, though. He's going into Mexico. He's traveling there. He's getting doors.
I called up, we sat down, talked. Hey, vete con el Alex a Yuma. Why? Porque Kevin Gastelum is over there. Yeah. Chance Ferrar.
They have a good platform.
At the time, the guy that you fought as well.
Efrain Escudero.
Efrain Escudero was there, too. Yeah. Edgar Garcia. Yeah. Edgar Garcia was a good prospect from Yuma. I don't know why he didn't carry on, but at the time, he was a prospect that was falling behind me. Yeah. There was a point in time that they wanted to put him on,
Yeah. Weren't you guys supposed to grapple at that tournament?
We were, we were supposed to grapple and then we were supposed to fight, but they're like, nah, he was he was still evolving.
Still new,
He was still evolving. I had too much experience, but he was a really good fighter, bro. You know.
And he did fight in the UFC, I think, twice.
Yeah. He was really, dude. Edgar Garcia. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I don't know where he got lost because that kid had a lot of potential, man. You know, Yuma was stacked too, and reason why I sent him over with Alex, because Alex, you know, one, I had communication with Alex. Two, we've trained with Alex. Three, I knew where Alex was as far as level wise. You know what I mean? He was already training with Gastelum, with all these cats. And once you have UFC arsenal in your team, that gives you access, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's when Rafa ended up going to Cub Swanson and now with Gaethje. Yeah. And that's what it's about, bro. You know, that's like I see him training with all these people. And the first thing I ask Rafa all the time is like, ¿Y cómo te fue, güey? Like, ¿cómo te fue?
See, it's funny.
He's humble. You know, he's humble.
He's tap out. I was handling him. I know Zimos, style me. You know, me dice, you know, Rafa doesn't talk a lot of doesn't talk shit, but he gives you what's up too. And I'm like, ¿cómo lo sentiste? No, pues yo estaba más fuerte, pero he was a little bit, you know, era rápido. Dice, era bien rápido, no lo podía controlar, pero lo controlaba, you know, whatever.
Yeah, he kind of went into it a little bit, you know, and I know, you know, like sometimes there's that code, you know, what happens in the gym stays in the gym. But he did give a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
You never know. You never tell you who you tapped. You never.
I told Rafa, bro, once I told him, like, look, you need to go to gyms that have UFC fighters, and once they see you, they're gonna fall in love with you.
Yeah.
And I knew for a fact that once Cub saw him, I told him, se va a enamorar de ti, güey. Ay, Elio. Se va a enamorar de ti, mijo, porque eres un buen peleador, es disciplinado, no tienes hábitos. He was every coach's dream, bro. You know? And he did something that you know, not talking about Pee Wee or Caesar or Ruben or any of them. It's just, you know, the younger fighters were gonna benefit regardless because we're evolving.
We're starting our lives.
And we're elevating, bro. You know. And we're elevating everybody.
We forget how young he started. That's the problem. By the time he was starting, bro, you were starting adulthood. You were getting your job, and you're going to be a pharmacist and doing all this stuff. And
he actually had more time than I did because he was already grappling. He got me. I remember in Achilles. He got me in Achilles hook because it was so stubborn with those. I'm like, what does he got? I'm like, oh Jesus, right? And I tapped, and I'm like, oh man, that little chubby kid tapped me out. And that's how that started. But if it wasn't for him tapping me out, I don't think I would have gone and quit everything else to snowball that.
And on Rafa's note, bro, it's funny, dude. Like when I watch his fights. And, you know, I have friends that know that he started with us. He's like, hey, that's your kid, huh? I was like, nah, bro. We never took credit for anybody else's success. We just encouraged that. You know, we always made it a point to remember your roots, and that's what's going to keep you humble. That's what's going to keep these kids progressing.
It's not up for us coaches or us teammates or us training partners to say, we
got that.
That's up to the fighter way, you know, and either you remember roots like we're talking about right now. He made me a better fighter. He made me a better fighter. Aron Barrios made me a better fighter.
Everybody did their
Nacho made me a better fighter. They all made me a better fighter because Luis Arbajo made me a better fighter. They all contributed. But
you know what's crazy?
One person that didn't even train with me that much, Carlos Romero, he made me a better fighter. The little that he taught me with his kicks helped me understand people that throw their kicks that way.
See, that was one of my favorite things. Like when you guys were getting ready, when you know your camp was going right. That was my favorite part.
Mentality.
It was getting in there and just to participate. It's like, hey, Ulises getting ready for this fight, Nacho's getting ready for this fight. All right, cool. We're gonna do the Ironman. All right. So I already knew, like, all right, going first ain't gonna be good.
I'm going at the end.
I mean, like, you know what? I'll go third. I go by that time, okay. He'll be, you know, even then, man, I'd go in there and I'm like, fuck, man, I should have went fourth.
remember when you threw me in with Nacho? Like, hey, wear him down, just grind him down.
Grind him down.
And
grind him.
And I was like, I was like, is Nacho?
Like, they forget that Nacho has takedown defense.
You had me wrestle him, so I started wrestling him, and I allowed him. He's like, no, quítate. And he knees me in the stomach. Boom! Oh, Jesus! He's like, no soy para el cabrón. But
I can never get over the strength of Nacho that he had in his legs, bro.
That's strong.
That's so handsome.
He's like Aztec blood and
soccer, yeah, dude.
He's a big boy, bro, but he has speed, man.
Oh,
that dude had speed. He was in our cross country team. He was top 2 or 3,
Man,
you know, and that's our sophomore year, bro.
No shit.
Yeah, Nacho was pretty at the
like a
Calexico
bloodline,
at the Calexico dunes.
Yeah.
That's Calexico's track right there.
Oh, damn.
They smoke everybody their way.
Yeah.
If you have CIFs there, they'll take every single spot way.
They're used to it.
Nacho beat them in their own turf way.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, I got my ass whooped, bro. I fucking came. The guy that came last, I came behind him.
Yeah.
You know,
No
like
kidding.
yeah, wait, that terrain is tough. Way, it's all Hebrew. It's all.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what's
all.
funny?
It's all dunes,
It's all dudes that we never trained for that shit. Way.
And it goes
You
back
know?
to it still. Even at an older age, he
Bro,
that was one of the things what he did. He took me back there. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna go running." Oh,
Bro, taking you. He's still doing it, bro. Like
That's what I'm
it's
saying,
crazy,
like-
Yeah.
he took me back to
is still
superstition.
doing it. Yeah.
He takes it out here to
What?
Hebrew dunes.
And in Mexicali, he
The
just
Murosa
took,
run or
yeah, he just took, what's the name, Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Yeah, he took him out there, and I saw, I was like, yeah, I remember that, because I remember when Nacho, when he was boxing, we went out there, and he goes, hey, compa, let's go over here, and I'm like, dude, I must have went maybe like, dude, maybe not even a quarter mile, and I stopped. I was like, nah, you keep going, I'm gonna wait by the
Man,
truck.
I'll never forget a run. So he's like, "Hey, Roba, Caesar, we're gonna go for a run." Takes a superstition, and he tells Roba we're running, and he's like, "You better hurry up, or the wolves are gonna get you." I remember like.
Yeah, I remember we went out there a few times. Yeah, I remember Louis went out there.
When we're at the Armory, remember we would run through all El
The hood
Centro,
run,
bro.
Yeah.
The hood run.
We would run through all the blocks in El Centro,
That's dope.
over there by
Everybody thought we were
Buckland
crazy
Park,
'cause we're running
around
in the middle of
summer,
August with sweaters on.
doing Indian runs.
Yeah.
And doing Indian runs.
Remember we
and
run
shit.
through like 6th Street or 5th
6th
Street, all
Street,
down
5th Street.
Orange, Olive.
Nobody, all the ghetto.
Every day was a different route, but it was always through the west side right there and towards Buckland
Yeah.
Park, and then
Yeah.
back around, and then towards the high school, and then back
Yeah.
And if
around.
we got left, man.
You
made it
know
back
where
to
the gym's at, yeah.
Wow.
I usually waited for everybody.
And going back over there too, like with Rafita, bro. Like when we started, when I started training him again, also I told him he was still amateur when I
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah.
He was an amateur, and I told him I don't train amateurs. If you're gonna train with me, you're a pro.
Yeah.
You're gonna fight pro.
Yeah.
He's like,
How old was he?
He was like
Shit, I don't
17,
know.
I
It
think.
was-
16,
yeah.
17.
2013. I don't know. What it was.
I remember because I remember he was
He had a
still in high school
He maybe had like one amateur fight. and
because
then
he was
that
on the wrestling team at Imperial.
He was like 17 or 18.
So I know it was one of those things that was kind of like, hey, well, how you gonna be doing this over here if you're over there?
He was out
And-
of high school already. It was 2013 way.
Well, because I remember Donnie brought it up, Donnie Hart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he brought it up. And he goes, hey, well, isn't he getting paid? I go, he's fighting amateur over there. That's, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even think those even hit the board, bro. Did
So-
you
so
pick them up?
Not the amateur ones.
Not the amateurs because they weren't registered away.
Yeah.
And back then, you know, and I'm telling you as a promoter, Sure Dog, if you weren't paying for their
They were gonna record
for
your
their
fight.
advertisement, they were recording away.
Well, my stuff's still on there, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
missing-
I don't think it was-
lot of my events are not because I pulled because they did me dirty, so I
Yeah.
pulled one of the sponsorships out. $800 a year they charge you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad actually, you know, because I would pay with a promotion money.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad, pero the reason I pulled it is because they didn't register two of the events, so I didn't pay the money, and then they put them up, and then I didn't renew my membership because it took them like fucking 6 months.
See, this is good. This is good for the people out there to know what it takes to do the promotion.
Well, look at my record on Sherlock. What's my
Bro.
record? 5-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, because when I was looking for pictures, I was like, oh, I'm not going to use that picture. Ulises going to be mad at me if I use that picture. So I was searching,
He's all fat leg.
and I saw the record. I was like, 5-5. What the fuck? I thought,
Even
they need to
online.
update this shit.
I don't even know what mine is on there.
Even on mine, they I
Well,
think Sherman
and that's the
3-4
thing with
fights.
Rafa, when I came back and I turned him into a pro, you know, the market was flooded with all these companies from Mexicali, bro. You know,
Yeah.
Fight Factory.
Yeah.
Fight Factory had you know, and I'm gonna say like it is. They had the comisión in their pocket, you know.
Right.
You know, Luis Ayala and all those guys, they had them in their pocket. I pay $600 for permit, right?
Right.
That guarantees you that nobody's gonna throw an event three weeks before or 3 weeks after your event. They sanction an event from Fight Factory the same day for free in Galeria. And the reason they did is because
That's the night that was at Arenia, right?
Arenia. I
That's
threw an
a
event at
triple
Arenia,
contact.
right?
Yeah.
So pretty much nobody wanted none of the promotions wanted to give Rafa a fight, nor they wanted to give him a top fighter.
Yeah.
They were protecting Sabori, they were protecting What's that guy? Manix? Manix is a fighter. Caldera. I don't even know what his name. Whatever. There was about 3 or 4 little Leyva.
Yeah.
There was 3 or 4 fighters from Mex that were being, you know, guarded, you know, by the promotions. They were grooming him.
Yeah.
They didn't want to fight Rafa. Why? Because they knew Rafa was
legit.
Was legit. So what do? I was like, okay, motherfuckers don't want to give him a fight. I'll open up the EFC again.
Yeah.
So I opened up EFC again, threw an event again with all of us involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was cool.
Everybody called the crew up. Hey,
Everybody's looking at us like,
throw an event.
Holy shit!
Angel Fernandez. Angel Fernandez. A lot. We didn't mention him, but Angel Fernandez was with us from like 2007 to now. We're at the Armory.
Yeah.
Angel Fernandez was all jiu-jitsu, you know.
That's crazy. And yoga. His flexibility.
Yoga and jiu-jitsu, and with time he evolved and whatnot. So me and Angel, he's like, hey, I'll help you out. So he was pretty much helping me putting up most of the money up, But luckily, like always, I get sponsors.
Yeah.
So pretty much I did an event with all the sponsor money.
Freddie came out.
Freddie Terrazas, Joey Imperial, Mario from Sign Factory.
Yeah.
Antonio Camacho, all the guys, Alex Garrido, all the guys that have always sponsored me.
They came out.
They came out, bro. They came out because one of the things I always did for them is I treated them like, I gave them their money worth. As far as product goes. VIP, bottles, service,
I bought my own ticket, by the way.
The whole shebang.
I refereed that event.
I was supposed to fight that day, and
I'll take a general admission, please.
I lost $3,000 in that event.
Oh, it was funny. Now it's funny that you said that because I remember when everybody was coming in, I was already inside. To market because Angel will hold me to it. We profited $300, but technically we didn't get paid for 2 months of work, so we're negative $3,000. Easy. What was so funny? Ulises coming in, right, and I'm already on this side of the gate, right. So Ulises coming in, everything. You know how they would check the list and all that. They didn't want to let him in because he wasn't on the list.
Yeah, on your own list.
Yeah. And I was like, he's the promoter. And he goes, this is his event. They're like, well, he's not on the list. I go, well, you got to let him in.
That's that back entrance.
Angel had his boys doing the security, bro, and they didn't know nobody. That was a bad idea. Long story short, got fixed. I put somebody that knew what's up. So
all I know is that I walk around like I own that place, bro. People were looking at me walking through. They're like, "Hey, who is this guy?" No.
He's like waving his hair as he's walking by.
Badass. I was like, man, this is what it feels like.
And shout out to another guy that helped us out a lot, Orlando Quintero. Always hooked us up with our shirts.
Yeah, always
made sure that our shirts were ready.
Yeah.
Always sponsored fighters. Rafa, he's always helped him out.
That guy was there for all my fights. It's like, and he would like
Caesar, same thing.
That guy was one guy that.
And that's the thing. We had people that were not fighters, but nonetheless, Fernie, he wasn't a fighter, but he was around all the time.
Oh, he was always down in the. It was like me, always in there to put in work and help out.
Exactly. That's just the camaraderie we had. But going back to that event with Rafa, nobody wanted to give him a shot, so we did that event for him. And after that is
Antonio
Barajas. After that, what's the name of the team from Mexicali?
Six Mexican Fighters.
Six Mexican Fighters. Yeah. Jeez, Junior Estrada and
Chides came out.
Chides, but what's the other coach's name? Jeez, I don't want to ruin his name. El Toro. So them two were running it, and they hit me up after that event. They're like, "Hey, we want Rafa."
Yeah.
And I knew, bro.
Yeah, of course.
He ended up fighting. The guy who's supposed to fight pulled out of the fight, but he ended up fighting that guy's number one guy. Destroyed him 1 round.
Yeah.
Looked great after that. Everybody was like, who the fuck is this kid?
I think that's when he started getting more notoriety.
That was his first pro fight.
Yeah, because everybody stared, the YouTube thing was going on, bro, and everybody was posting Facebook and that.
So he didn't fight Antonio Barajas after that. He fought at the Golden Lion Casino. He fought against somebody else, and he was the main event there. and then he fought 2 more other times, and then we ended up fighting Antonio Barajas.
And it's
bro.
funny, man. I fought Antonio Barajas, and I'm gonna tell you that kid's a scrapper, man. He was going at that time. I think he was 9-1. He had 9 submission wins, one loss, and I beat him. I didn't even tap him out. I think I beat him to split decision, and that was in Mexicali.
Yeah.
So when Rafa was fighting him, I'm like, they're like, oh man, this guy's amazing. And keep in mind, he had beat Makeup. He had all the titles at 135, 145, 155 in pro.
Oh, so he had already put in work.
He was already destroying.
Antonio, bro, was badass, bro. He was a gamer, bro.
Yeah.
But, and I told Rafa, this guy, he fought Rafa like he's never fought before. Because I study the fights.
Yeah.
And I told Rafa, game plan changed.
Yeah.
Because this fool came in to bang, bro, and he never bangs.
He's a technical guy, man.
He's a technical guy.
He probably wanted to catch him off guard and make quick work of him.
Yeah.
Dude, he ate like 9 knees to the forehead, dude. His forehead was like this big by the end of the fight. He collapsed. They had to carry him out of the ring.
Oh, shit.
In the back, dude, he was like almost convulsing, bro. Like it was,
he gave it.
Like he gave it. Like that guy did not quit, bro.
Yeah.
Like he fought to the death, you know. And Rafa always talks shit because I was like, I stole, he's done.
I woke up,
And
man.
I still remember Barajas turned around and looked at me. He's like, oh, and got up, bro.
Yeah.
Rafa had him mounted,
Yeah,
and
when
he
Rafa's
got
on
up,
top.
and they started going.
Rafa's on top of him, and it's hard to get Rafa off you.
Yeah.
But then I remember that specific time because we were on the opposite side.
Yeah.
We're on Antonio's side. We're like right there, like, how we end up on this side? And I just remember seeing him like give a little scream and just stands up with Rafa on top of him. Just Jesus, what's going on?
Because he looked done, you know.
Yeah.
And
But that's the thing that's the fight in the guys, man.
Yeah.
Chicali guys, dude, they don't stop.
Yeah.
They don't stop. Those kids, those young dudes are.
And he comes from Entram, you know.
Yeah,
Like
Entram
Raul
is a legit-
Arvizu has always put up great fighters. I fought a couple of other
Rosadito.
fighters.
Actually,
You fought a couple of other fighters. He has a bunch of
came out
UFC
there. He's in the
fighters.
UFC.
Yeah.
Martin Bravo, he's another guy that's when I was about the time where I was like, hey, Team United. I mean, I don't got much training partners. I mean, I was like, hey, hook me up with a fight.
Right.
They're, we're gonna fight this kid. He has like 3 fights. I go up and I see him. I'm like, okay.
Who was promoting for you at the time?
At that time,
Or you doing it yourself?
Getting fights, it was hard. So I think I hit up Charlie, and Charlie said, grabbed the fight. And I think at the time,
Charlie from Mexicali.
body effects. So I think Scooby was like, oh, it's just a nobody or whatever. So I remember I looked at him, and I didn't remember the kid, but when I was training for Bellator, I went to Rosarito to train, and I trained with the kid. I actually was teaching the kid, and I didn't until the weigh-ins. I looked at him, I was like, hey, I remember that kid, but he was 16, and now he's like 19 with like 30 amateur fights from Entram.
Yeah, because those dudes will fight every weekend.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then this guy ended up winning the Ultimate Fighter in the tough in Latin America.
Oh, no shit.
I won 35. So I mean, this guy wasn't just anybody. I fought him and I lost split to him.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, man, I'm already done. Dude, I'm losing to these nobodies. And, I mean, I don't got no training camp or.
Yeah.
I ended up saying, you know what, and then Yuli comes back and he's like, Daddy's back. So,
Yeah.
I guess
We're like, here we go again.
Yeah. I guess I'll stay around for a little bit longer.
I remember when he called me, like, after the vacation. He's like, we get back into this. I was like, oh, fuck. I got
let's go train.
Everybody
thought I was gonna beat their ass with.
We went to Morales.
They're like, bro, I thought we were gonna get.
Yes, it was
We went to Morales.
Thanksgiving weekend.
And that's what I say about Morales, you know. He's always opened up his doors to me.
Yeah, bro.
When I came back and I started training, he would leave his door, his gym open for me in the afternoons, and I would train Aron.
Yeah.
And at the time, Danny Torres had the keys, so Luis. Magaña and Carlos.
Yeah. Arias.
Yeah. They were training with him and Armando Murillo. So they were all training there, and I was training Rafa there, I was training Armando there, and got to train with those guys. And again, he lended us a spot. But before all that shit went down, I called these guys and I'm like, hey, let's train. So Pee Wee shows up, this guy, Norwood, Tyson.
It was like
a celebration of.
It was like I think we took shit more than we even did anything because they're like, hey, what's a spar? de la verga.
No, we actually did.
We did a little bit, but it wasn't like as hard as it used to be.
Shit, that's because everybody want to roll with me, cabrón.
Could you blame us, bro?
They want to give you hugs.
We wanted to
Man,
give you more than
I got my
hugs.
I
back
got to
on
roll
Yuli.
with everybody. That's why this was like, we didn't roll that much shit. I rolled a lot. What are you talking
I
about?
only got Yuli one time, man, and I'll never forget it because he constantly destroyed me, man. He's tapped me out so many times. I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have count, but I have mine. I got one.
You got one more than me. 'Cause I don't think I ever tapped him ever in my career. Like I've had heel hooks in, and I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna break his fucking knee. Fucking you.
No, like one time when you almost got me with a fucking Americano.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were on the yellow mat.
And I was like, how the fuck?
Because I rolled into
like
it.
in my head, I was like, how the
I rolled
fuck did
into
I almost
it,
tap
and the arm was there.
That
But I
goes,
wasn't gonna push on it. I did push on it, and the
You
thing
did,
is that-
fucker. I just punched
I know,
through.
yeah, but I remember
Eli was like this, dude, and I think
we
we surprised
rolled.
him too.
Yeah.
He got it.
It was in,
I
I'm
tried to
like-
fight. In no way, so I fucking rolled him, and he rolled me.
But I never.
and then he fucking.
I never fucking-
sat, and I fucking swam
I
out.
never
man.
in my career
Dan,
tapped this.
have you ever heard Yuli scream?
One time, but it was only because it was in a real fight, and that was what's his name?
Oh, but Helio when he popped my knee.
Yes.
Right, that was a great fight too, bro.
Oh, bro.
Beating his ass for a one hole rep for 5 minutes, and then he popped my fucking knee.
Oh, dude, I remember because we were in your corner,
That was,
and I remember the commentator. He was yelling in Spanish. You know, cuídate, Ulises, quítate de ahí, Ulises. I mean, he's like, I'm like, motherfucker, who's the corner? You or me? You know what I mean? And yeah, even like, you know, they kept yelling it out, get out of there, get out of there.
I slept on that one because like when I saw him rolling,
Yeah.
and he had already attempted it so many damn times.
Yeah.
And that was his
You know what I
bread
mean?
and butter, though. Dude.
That was his bread and butter.
That-
You know, he trained with Shamrock. He actually tore Shamrock's knee.
We tried to defend that for so long. We
So his
practiced
coach,
it.
what was his coach's name, compa? The one that was always high at the events.
Yeah, El Pitbull, what's his name? The Bulldog, what they call him?
No, güey, ¿cómo se llama este güey?
Tony, his name's Tony, too.
Tony Lopez?
No.
His name was Tony too. Zach was.
Yeah, I know. Well, Zach Taylor used to train on him.
Oh,
Zach
okay.
was another one, bro. That was a young fighter, bro. I saw him fighting. The first time I fought him, he fought Caleb Smith, bro.
Caleb
Caleb was my
Smith.
wrestling coach at the time.
You know, Caleb was a fucking wrestling monster, bro. And he grabbed him and they took him to the corner, picked him up, slammed him, and
Wow.
Caleb tapped him out like this.
All right, Zach.
Zach
got the
Zach
Yeah.
tapped him
One of
out
those,
quick,
like-
bro.
I know,
Zach,
I know Zach since he was a little kid, and from coaching wrestling and all that stuff back in the day, the takedown program, the kid had it from the beginning. You know what I mean? And it's not taking anything away from his credit or anything, but like I said, there's different paths that people take.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it all started with coaching. You know, we all knew that some coaches had different ways of doing things. And,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's not being negative, and I don't want it to come out negative, but different coaching styles would have been different for certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think if Zach would have been with us, bro, he would have got somewhere.
And he did train with us.
He
quite
trained
a
with us,
bit.
pero desafortunadamente el Tony lo arruinó.
Yeah,
He got him hooked on drugs and
Yeah.
And then it happens though, and I never turned my back on the kid, and I just kind of, because he still goes with Morales. I've heard he's gone. He's still really active.
Yeah, I think I got him on social media.
Yeah, I still have
but
wars
like
with
I
him every
said,
once in a while.
I don't, like I said, from this point, I don't want to say like I turned my back on the MMA world,
Right.
no.
but it was my time to walk away, and it was scary because I didn't know where these kids. That's why I feel bad, because we had set such a high standard for these kids and for the young dudes that when we went our ways and we did what we had to do and we had to put our lives first, that it was like some of these dudes kind of like, I heard it like,
Yeah.
hey, wait, if we did, like, you left us hanging, bro, like now you left us with so and so, and you know, and I'm like, oh man, bro, you know, and the name didn't have what it once had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
even when I came back, bro, and I started training, I didn't want to train. That's not what and Freddie Terrazas, TKO Academy, he had TKO Academy with Everardo, and you know, pretty much, you know, once I already had Rafita.
Yeah.
So I started taking Rafita over there with Freddie because he had
Nas.
he had Nazario at his weight class.
Yeah.
He had Jimmy. Mind you,
showed up.
you know, Luis had beat both of them, and what's his name, Enriquez, David as well. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, I invested 6 months of my life in Rafa, like every day, bro. You're talking about he had me for 3 to 4 hours a day, bro.
Wow.
And for 6 months straight, just boom, 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 boom. And then I threw that event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want, I came back and they were talking about, oh, Rafa stand up this, stand up that. I got him and I was sweeping him and, putting him on his ass. He was just like, what the fuck? Because according to him, he was whooping everybody's ass, right?
Yeah.
According to everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm just sweeping him, and just Muay Thai, basic Muay Thai. And he's just like getting pissed, 'cause,
You know what it was, bro? It was the
lose.
fact that you started like that from the beginning with him. And when you put this kid on a team that has no competition and he's going to these practices and there's nothing there for him, and you kind of, it's like taking steps back. If he's not progressing every single practice, and you come in off the couch, because we all come in, and I've seen some practices, I've been to some practices where like, oh fuck, I've been off the couch for 5 years, how you not getting me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't, I mean, like I said, I don't want it to sound like I'm talking shit, but I go to these places and I'm sitting there like, bro, this is your top guy.
Yeah.
This is your top guy, and I'm throwing a head and arm like a kid. Like, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
So that's where I see where you talk about Rafita, where you kind of took him out of that little safety zone, because he wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. He had fights, he was staying active, but there wasn't that next level for him anywhere. And that was you came at the perfect time to kind of be like, hey, wait, vete pa allá. Yeah. Because nobody wanted him to leave. Everybody was like, stay right here.
To be honest, man, like there was that safety zone where, because Rafa had all the skills, man, and you see it from the get-go. Yeah. I saw it, like, as I was fading out, he was.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad it happened the way it did. Because if he would have gone to the show too soon, he wouldn't have that mental capabilities of being He evolved perfect, He had to have that up and down, because when it started, bro, it was just like boom, 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 and what is it? 2 years? 2 years later?
Yeah.
What the fuck? With Rafita, what the fuck did this kid come from?
And it's crazy because he still had that support, even from his employer at the time. I think that story is pretty cool.
Williams, bro.
That was awesome. That story of him going to quit, and that employer just.
Bro, I know that company very well, bro. I do a lot.
What's the name of the company again?
Keithley Williams.
Shout out
Keithley Williams. He's making Rafita. That's
badass.
His coworkers,
not anybody would do that.
They literally gave him a check, like he was an employee to go train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they said, dude, this thing. When he said his boss never went to fights, his boss would take everybody out, bro. All the vatos at Keithley Williams, I talk to him on a regular basis, and they say, dude, he'd take us out there and he just couldn't go out. It's like watching your baby get punched in the face. You can't do that, dude. Because the kid he's still humble. The family, his mom still works there. Yep. The dad worked there. Everybody works at Keithley Williams at the nurseries and stuff. And dude, the boss was just like, nah, dude, that kid's gonna be something,
And senior, going back to senior too, is senior when we started right there at TKO Academy with Freddie, is like I started seeing senior, teaching the young kids, and then all of a sudden I would see him, correct the older guys.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And I was like, hey, Rafa, ve, corrígeme ese güey.
Yeah.
And he would go like, hey, así no dijo Ulises. And then he would say, así no dijo Ulises.
Yeah.
And he would tell it to Rafita too. Ulises no dijo que lo hicieras así, hazlo así.
Yeah.
And he was like meticulous about to the T.
Yeah.
He knew the system. He knew the system, and he knew what to look for. Yeah. Because he'd be like, Rafa needs coordination. He needs to learn how to be more loose.
I told him, hey, this little papel, le dije, ese papelito que estás jugando que no sabes es mentira.
Yeah.
I told him,
Yeah.
So you need to step in and help me coach.
Yeah.
That guy
when you started working with him, I cut his dad's hair, and he came into the shop, and I was like, what's his next step? Yuli's working something. I was like, dude, it has to happen. It has to happen like soon, because there's that tipping moment on a career
window.
Yeah.
Very small window. Your 20s, bro. You should be at the show. You know what I mean? Your early 20s, at least on a big promotion. Because the UFC has so many sister promoter or baby promotions that they're spread out all over the country. We just didn't have the means to get them there. We didn't have the sponsors. We didn't have this. So you pushing him towards that happened at the right moment, and the dad trusted us. The dad trusted you, obviously. He trusted us from the beginning.
Yeah.
But he was able to the point where we weren't going to hurt the kid. We weren't taking credit. We weren't taking advantage. We didn't expect one single cent for anyone's career. We just want to see this kid progress.
Rafa, on that note, and I gotta say it, he's the only fighter that paid me money away when he fought Barajas. And because he knew at the time they had offered me a job to go at the hay bales. I was gonna be driving one of those big machines to do hay bales, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck it was, but my sister hooked me up with a job, right?
Yeah.
So me being the dummy that I am, and the reason why I didn't want to get a bit into training is because I get so invested that it was 12 to 14 hour days.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna be able to fucking train.
Yeah.
So I said no to the job, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I said no to the job. So I took that job, and then and Rafita knew about it. You know, his dad knew about it. He's like, no, Yuli, agarra el trabajo. I'm like, no. So long story short, when Rafa got paid for that fight, bro, he came with $400. I think I want to say $400 or $300, whatever it was. It could have been 100 or 400, but he came with money, and he's like, here. I'm like, no, you know, I never get paid for. He's like, no, ten Yuli. Yeah. I'm like, no, and then it's like, Yuli, por favor, agárralos. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say no to Senior. I got the money. And I was just like, I didn't even know what to do to the fucking money. Yeah. And I remember I told Rafa that day. I told him we're gonna go party. I told him, ya vete pa tu casa. We're gonna party for you. And he's like, he was like, no, I thought I was going. I'm like, a tu casa. I sent him home, bro.
That was weird.
He would win. And you know, and we go celebrate, bro. And we would send him fucking home. Yeah. You know, and that was every single fight. Yeah. Not like this guy. This guy would go. We would party like. We were partying like. Now you go see rock stars, you know,
bro. That we would literally, because where we fought at, they wouldn't have the best reputation, and they weren't connected to the best places. So when we'd go into our warm-up area,
the dressing room,
you know, it'd be like, excuse me, I got a private. I'm like, okay, do your work, girl. Let me go stretch over here. Like, and be like, hey, Caesar, get off the floor, bro.
Stretching right there.
I'm like, that's not how you warm up, Caesar. She's stretching.
That's not sanitized.
So when we have the after parties, El Polo, man, from Nido, that dude was amazing. Where, hey, todas estas pistas son ustedes. And I was like,
we always take care of, you know,
my water bill,
you know, not to talk shit, you know, but that's another thing. A lot of people, you know, talk about the party life or whatnot. You know, we used to go to Meg, Squeak from M1, M2, M3. You know, Pepe and Co. They would always hit me up, be like, "Hey, what's up? Are you gonna come?" Yeah. And they used to invite me, bro. They used to pitch me. They knew I was coming in 8 to 13 people deep.
But like the thing is that when it was fight time. Leading up to it, there was no partying. There was don't get that twisted.
Well, I would go to the events, but because I would go
promote.
So I would take go-go dancers.
Tochos would come out.
Tochos would come out. Tocho Morochos, Andres, shout out.
Yeah, Andres. I remember going on there a few times. Tochos.
And you know, we used to go to the clubs and with the go-go dancers, and we used to do like competitions and give away tickets. And you know,
but that was a promotion. That was a little bit different from what you like were saying that we did party. Because it was always after the events,
right?
You know, and it was.
No, before the events, everything was disciplined,
there was nothing lined up. I mean, it was.
I don't know about these guys, but I wouldn't have sex for 2 months, bro. I would not have sex for 2 months, and that was a whore bag. I ain't gonna lie. That's what it is.
Because like when it talked about partying, bro, it was always his house, my house. You know, and we stayed together. Yeah. You know, we threw chingazos. It was between us. You saw the pictures, bro. We give each other black eyes. It was just
the black eye party.
Family, bro. It was a family. Salcido. He came from a wedding one time.
Salcido. Remember Capitan? He's the one who
provided the vans.
He drove over there to Ensenada with us, provided the vans for us a couple of times to Tijuana.
We left Capitan's restaurant and went straight to Mex. He's like, vamos Machicali a tirar party. I was like, viejo, ¿puedes? Vámonos a la verga.
And even, you know, joining Imperial when he had the spot, I had a little, you know, deal with Joey to where I provided security for him. So Tyson, Tito, a bunch of the younger cats that, you know, are fresh out of high school, you know, he knew they were disciplined, whatever, and he would give them jobs as security. Yeah. Unfortunately, some of these guys were, you know, got caught drinking on the job. So
taking girls downstairs.
They got into, you know, getting handled. Nacho. Nacho, the Norwoods. Yeah. You know, so we had a lot of rapport with a lot of, you know, locally and in Mexicali. Forget about it, bro.
Man,
we had a lot of.
There's so many stories that are being untold right now.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like I said, dude.
Oh, yeah.
There's it's gonna be endless, dude. Like we can talk about this for days.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And you know what? Like I said, like we talked about it. At the
Episode
beginning.
100.
What I want to know is what we're doing now.
Exactly.
You know
That's what I wanted to get to. So, so let's start with Ceasar. So, your fight career, right now, obviously, you had to move on. We had, that was a part of your life. So after fighting, what'd you do?
I mean, I tried to go into the whole pharmacy tech thing, and I was like, hey, I want to be something where I can get 8 to 5 and keep training.
Yeah.
It wasn't really doing much for me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to, obviously have a family structure type of deal. So I ended up getting into a law enforcement agency and I was working with them. And right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to coach. So now I'm taking the flip coin on my side, just like everybody else has. And I'm giving what was given to me, and I'm trying to give back to just people in general. Just I want people to be safe. Be able to take care of themselves and not have to, go against the
You're
grain.
still training though, right?
I'm still training. Every once in a while, I'll get in.
He's supposed to call me. He hasn't called me. So
I can't say it's consistent.
I feel like that hyena that's waiting for the call. And don't get
me
it.
Too.
I can't say it's consistent. I haven't been doing it consistently enough to be like, hey, I got this schedule set up.
Right.
Right now, Robert Morales has been doing, he's awesome, man. He opened his doors to me on Tuesdays and
Robert
Thursdays.
Morales is.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to that guy. That guy's always had the doors open for me.
Morales Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yeah. It was right there off of Main Street.
He's at the Valley Plaza, right?
Yeah, off the Valley Plaza. It's right across from on the south side of DePauli.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just been trying to do that, and I had my first law enforcement dude just go in there, and I kind of brushed him up on, and again building that structure, using stuff that he's gonna use in the field, not just teaching him, hey, you're gonna shrimp.
Right.
He doesn't put that into perspective until you actually get the whole jiu-jitsu part. So that's what I'm doing right now as far as just my job and just enjoying my daughters, man. It's
that's awesome, man.
Trying to take a step back away from being selfish, because to be a fighter, man, that's the only word you can really put up is you have to be selfish, and you have to take that time for yourself.
That's true. You have to be. Yeah, you have to be selfish. And then you reach that stage where, once you have kids and everything, it's not about you anymore. It's about the little ones.
Man. And my daughters asked me, just today I had my daughter, hey, Dad, why did I call you Teddy? I was like, I was like, I don't even know what to tell her. I literally.
You know what, bro? But you just know that you have to one day.
And
just tell her you never wash your hands.
Yeah, and I'm trying to push her off I didn't shower, I didn't something, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like she just looks at me and just oh, you used to train. I used to. That's like a past, but I traded it all to be a better father. So I think she understands that part. She's happy about it, and it's pretty cool just seeing that flip side.
Awesome, man. Yeah. And my man over here, Coach Ilario Castro, what you been up to?
It's been a roller coaster, bro. After I left the team is because I got laid off from a job that I was working for the government, and.
At the Navy base?
At the Navy base.
Yeah. How long were you there for?
9 years.
9 years. I was going to say 11.
And that job was good enough, but it was a contract. So we lose contracts and they gain them, and you bid for them.
Yeah.
But the day that it happened was pretty much just a Monday. They said, hey, it's over.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what we were going to do.
Yeah.
So how am I going to be a leader when I can't even take care of my family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can I be a coach? So I decided to go to barber school.
Yeah.
And I went to barber school. And it was driving to Palm Springs for 2 years because I became a barber, cosmetologist, esthetician, and a state instructor.
Damn.
Yeah, VA baby.
I didn't know you.
VA baby. Woo, that VA GI Bill kicked in.
I don't take advantage of that shit. I'm a dumbass, bro.
I had to because, like I said, I needed something to fall back on, and like I said, my old lady pushed me to get me out there, and I had to kind of take a step back from everybody else. And like I said, I'm going on 10 years of doing that since I quit fighting. And I just didn't have the ganas, bro. I called Yuli. I don't know how many times I've called you guys. Hey, I need to get back into the gym. I need to start training again.
Yeah. He's told me several times.
Bro, but I just sit there and I'm like, I can't. I can't because now I'm coaching. Now I'm being a dad. And now, this past year was our Hoville's first all-girls wrestling team that I was able to be a part of.
Nice.
My daughter, she took third in CIF and first year wrestling ever, and 5th or 6th in Masters. You know, so it was just one of those things where, like Caesar said, we focus on our kids because we're done. We're pushing on, and
our time has passed.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Which is fine.
But like I said, I still get every now and then where you're walking through Walmart or Costco and
somebody recognizes
one old
you.
vato from the back, like, hey, you used to be a fighter, huh, bro? You know, I'm like, no, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. My daughter's like, Daddy, what do you mean you're a fighter? Like, well, and then I'll throw up the YouTube. Like, you know, it's
there
like,
you go.
Whoa. You know,
That was you.
it's like, you're so skinny. But yeah, dude, I'm a barber in Holville. I get to see this guy every other day, you know, and part of the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce, still doing stuff with the community, still being involved with the kids, the programs, the youth programs, trying to sponsor kids, trying to get kids out off the streets. And Holville's not like a place where you'd say, oh, this is the streets. You know what I mean? But helping kids just progress in anything, you know, that's pretty much, it's been all my life, dude.
Wow.
You know?
But I think you've been a really good you've been a good asset to Holville, bro. You know?
You've been very
No.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Take it for what it is, way, you know, at the time being like look at Ernie Avila.
Yeah.
If you know, I mean, like, the lifestyle he lives now is not the lifestyle. He probably would have picked that up way earlier.
Yeah.
You know, you kept them off the streets. Look at Justin. Look at all these cats that
Justin,
have progressed. You know,
Justin,
Birdman. We you know, we have a lot of guys that, you know, maybe they weren't involved.
But that's the funny thing is that we've never taken credit for any of it, and we never see that we want it because we just wanted that opportunity. You know what I mean? And I've always tried to open those doors to younger cats. Even if I knew that they weren't gonna make it, give them the opportunity and be like, hey, wait, like, I got this, kick on. Next guy can step up.
Yeah.
You know, and I still live like that, you know, like I talk to the community, and, you know, I'm not that crazy guy anymore. I'm not cussing as much as I used to, you know, but it's still there.
Yeah.
You know, I get to,
allergies.
And the crazy thing is being a barber is you're being involved with the community in the sense where you're giving back just a little bit every half hour, and I'm a talker, bro. I like the BS, you know, and that's the perfect job for me. And like I said, dude, success isn't about money, and we never made it about money. We've been some poor ass MMA fighters. We've been some poor ass fucking, you know.
And that's the thing, man.
Yuli, you got any soups? Like, I need a soup. You got a soup?
I got one. Let's go half and half.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like, all in all, that's where I'm at. I'm in Holville still. I'm gonna stay in Holville. You know, my son's in the Navy, living the life, having a good time, you know.
Yeah, and I want to mention him, you know, that he joined the military and everything. He's serving his country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like you were a Marine, you know, and that's awesome, man. Yeah. That's awesome. And I can't imagine how proud you felt when, you know what I mean?
It's amazing how proud I am. I mean, nobody wants to lose their kid to the military because it's a misconception of what you think the military is.
Right.
You know, you push him like, my son wanted to be a cook. I was like, baby, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You scored good on the ASVAB. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't get those choices. Remember open contracts? They were like, oh, bro, I got a good job for you, bro. You get to shoot guns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
Oh, yeah, you're going to jump on a plane.
Oh, yeah, you can jump on
you want to wrestle for the Army? Yeah.
We got you. Sign right here.
I got you.
So that's the thing is that, like you say, going back to your kids, I mean, we've all seen our kids grow. Your kid's a CEO, you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude, to watch these kids, and you're like, dude, I remember these pinches players when they were running around the gym, like, control your kid, we're working.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Danny, you know, he went, he became a CEO, and the only thing, he felt that, you know, and like anything, you know, sometimes you give it a try, and if it's not for you, you know what I'm saying? And he did it twice. He was a CEO in Arizona.
Oh, he doesn't do it no more?
No.
Oh, okay.
And he worked over here at the detention center over here, you know, and he was pretty good at his job. And I mean, I don't have to tell you, you know, it is a risky job. Yeah. And long story short, you know, there was an incident where he was assaulted. Luckily, he didn't get hurt. But, you know, it's funny, right? You know, you're working as a guard, your life's on the line, something happens to you, but then for whatever reason, the other, you know, the one that assaulted you seems to have more rights than what you do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The politics and all that. Mm-hmm. So before
he has kids, right?
No kids. Okay. And before, you know, it went a certain direction, he decided, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Yeah.
You know, situations like that, Danny, really make you, you know, like me, when I was a CEO, I actually loved my job. I was good at it, you know? And not because I was an asshole or not because I was this badass or not.
Yeah.
One of the things is nobody's Superman.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by
Killers.
you know, killers, you know,
Yeah.
real killers,
Real killers.
you know.
Yeah, no joke.
So, you know, to me, that job was very easy because I grew up around these people, you know.
Yeah.
I could easily relate. And not only in that aspect, I also know the laws. And the
Yeah.
laws of that is you respect every man like a man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's about
that's a standard law anywhere you go. If you go to Mars, you respect
Yeah.
the aliens as what they are. You know what I mean? And that's
exactly.
it. You
Yeah.
just give respect. And
Yeah.
But incidents like that happened to your son, it happened to me. My partner, who was a female, they attempted to assault her. We're in a dormitory setting, 120 inmates on the floor.
Yeah.
And this guy goes after her. I get up. I was on the phone with the sergeant.
Yeah.
He's hearing all this commotion.
Yeah.
I grab the guy, throw him down the stairs. He gets loose, swings on me. I go under it, pick him up, slam him, get his wrist, cuff
Yeah.
him up. At the bottom of the stairs was another guy who we bumped, and he ended up flying. So he was going to jump us too.
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up getting 50% doc for 13 months, bro.
Yeah, because you
13 months, bro.
Yeah.
I got docked.
And you potentially saved your partner's life,
A female.
a female. You know what I mean? And see, that was the thing.
Welcome to Califas.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that was the thing. Like Danny, you know, he looked at it like damn, you know,
that made me fall, and like I said, I understand Danny. It makes you fall out of love, out of the job, and
Yeah.
that's the day that I knew. I always knew I was not going to stay in that job. You know,
Yeah.
you know me.
Yeah.
I like to stay busy, and I like to do different things, and I like to be challenged. And I knew I was not going to do that for a long time. I didn't think I was going to leave the way I left. Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, hey, man.
It is what it is,
la
right?
vida, right? It's la
but
vida,
that's
yeah.
the reason why I was doing the fighting and the promotions and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you know, I totally get that, bro. You know, it sucks for Danny to experience that. You know.
Yeah.
But you know,
I had no idea, bro.
he has that job
No.
too. You know, where he's out there on the streets
Yeah.
dealing with,
Yeah.
you know, anybody that you don't know what the hell's going on,
Exactly.
and in any situation at any
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah.
You know, luckily Ceasar has I'm pretty sure he has the security, and now he feels assured that
Yeah.
whatever situation comes his way
Yeah.
is.
And don't get me wrong, like
Ready
he,
for it.
he still has aspirations for law enforcement, but that particular field, you know, he's like, you know what, I want to go a different route.
Yeah.
So right now, you know, he's doing what he loves. He loves cars, you know, like
Yeah.
we talked about. He loves cars. He's working as a mechanic for a dealership right
there you
now.
go.
Nice.
Yeah, and he makes good money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, you know, it's something that, and I told him, look, if you love it, cool, man, then enjoy that.
Go for it.
You know, and meanwhile you're in that, you know, keep your aspirations alive and keep trying. You know, one day if this is what it's meant to be, you be in law
I never
enforcement.
thought I would be a barber full time. Like,
You
I
know
never
what I mean?
thought I'd make a career.
But that's what I was about to
And
say
it was
earlier.
just
But
one
you
of
love it though.
Oh, dude, I love it more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I literally wake up happy every day. You know,
yeah.
like, it's hard to say that I go to work and I look at my schedule and I get to say, oh, dude, I get to see so and so today. I get to have a conversation every half
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, exactly.
With a different person.
Yeah.
6 days a
You
week.
like
5
to
days a week.
interact and
Oh, yeah,
everything?
dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think
What's the name of your?
And you're your own boss.
And my own boss.
And it's
yeah.
your own place.
Yeah.
And
So
you
what's
make
the
your
name
own
of it?
schedule.
What's the
It's
name?
Cuts and Fades Barbershop in Holtville.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where's it located?
It's Caddy Quarter 711, right across the street from Hope Park.
All right.
So if you know George's Pizza, it's
right there.
It's right, just right to the.
Right to the
Yeah.
to the right over
Yeah.
there. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
And like I said, dude, I just do what I love, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm my family's a lot better now than it once was because I'm there.
You're
you know?
there. You're close by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they want to drop by, Daddy's
Yeah.
right there. You
course.
know exactly.
If I need to leave, maybe
Yeah.
I'm gonna go softball. I'm gonna go to t-ball. I'm gonna go to wrestling. I'm gonna go. to
Wife
that.
can bring you lunch
Oh, yeah.
whenever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just play.
So now onto the Punisher. What's the Punisher been up to? What's it like after the fight world?
I want to hear it. Tell me.
Well, I'm a stay-at-home dad. You know, I just had a baby 8 months ago. I'm lying.
I saw you still got the weight on.
I
The
still
baby
get the weight
weight.
on the baby weight. No, yeah, you know, pretty much, bro. I'm doing the family life. You know, obviously, you guys know I got remarried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Congratulations.
happy. I got a little baby.
Yeah.
Super happy with that little kid too.
Yeah.
You know, and like anybody, and like you were saying right now, you know, stepping out of the fighting game is something that, it is what it is, man. You know, it's a point in time in your life where you're there, and everything. Every chapter has an ending. You know. I'm not saying. Do I miss it? I miss the fuck out of it.
Hell yeah!
I miss the fuck out of it. Up to this day, I told Caesar, dude, I'll go home and I'm gonna send you a picture. I got brand new gloves, brand new chin guards. You know me, I always got the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
I bought myself new gear, bro.
I got all that shit in my cart on Amazon, bro. All the shorts. I was like, one day I'm just gonna press
buy it, puto. So, I already bought it, bro. And that's something that I'm not gonna leave because I miss it, I'm always gonna wanna spar. I actually right now I'm in the point where I do want to get back to it. Me and Caesar have been talking for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
He's been trying to get that program going. I want to get back involved. I even told Robert that I was gonna go back over to Spa because anytime Rafa comes, I go help him out or whatnot. But right now, I'm happy with my career, bro. I'm happy with my career. I'm happy with the way that everything turned out. I'm happy with the end product as far as the brotherhood that still exists.
Yeah.
That right there in itself speaks volumes, bro.
Yeah.
Nosotros.
Yeah.
We may not talk every day, but
it's never gonna go away.
It's never gonna go away. Is it what it was back then? No, because we've all taken our course in life because of kids, work, or whatnot. It doesn't really matter, and that's one of the things that again you can't hold on to fighters and try to live through them.
No.
That's why it doesn't. Letting go of Rafa and him and at their times, right?
Yeah.
Because I also at his time he was let go too. You know, letting go about it wasn't about that I'm done with you. It's just like you're ready to keep growing. Keep moving, keep growing.
He would let go, but when he needed to step in, he would step in.
I'm always gonna be the big brother, bro.
Yeah.
Out of all of us, I think you're the only one who's older than me. The only one, right?
Yeah, probably.
Jerry Salazar, pero Jerry wasn't full time with us, right? Pero Jerry and Alex and Garza, Juan Garza,
Yeah.
Older than me. Other than that, I'm the oldest one as far as like our group.
Fighter,
so I was always the big brother.
Yeah. You guys were the generals, man. You know what I'm saying? You, Nacho.
It's hard to hear, dude, because it just seems so long ago, man. Like it just seems.
It does.
I think about it, but it's just like coming back to it, and like you say, dude, it's like we're in, but we're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's just something that even me, I still give homage to where it comes from. I'm like, hey, because they asked me, where'd you learn to do this? Where'd you learn to do that? And it's like, all these people, man. But the you have your cornerstones, right?
But you don't have to. It's not like you're bragging about it. You know what I mean? Because we've never.
No.
It's not so much bragging, but it's just me just giving back that respect because that's what I got when I got showed up to the gym, and that's the respect that I got when they give me attention or when they give me that information or that little technique or that ass whooping that you needed to get better, and you don't get that anymore. That's what I feel right now is what the real valley is like. The valley is missing that dog.
There'll never be a team like us.
There won't be, and that's what I feel like.
There'll never be a team like us, bro.
There's laws now, bro. The shit we used to do comes out on Dateline NBC. I mean, it's called abuse.
But you know what? And it goes back to it goes back to that's what makes a fighter. Nothing's ever pretty in there. And nothing's ever gonna be pretty. And it's like you have guys that are just gonna. You need that. You need to be forged by fire, man. By fire and steel.
I think more than anything, también the reason why we have the respect like with him is because of that, the honesty. There's no bullshit. It was like, hey, motherfucker, you're fucking up. Whether it be in your personal life or whether it be in,
And in God honest truth, you can ask every single person that trained with us, any single person that's watching this podcast that trained with us, and that's not just wearing a shirt, and that was there.
Yeah.
Are gonna say the same shit that you just said.
Yeah.
There was it was just the same exact shit.
Yeah.
You earned that spot, you got the love, and both ways. You know what I mean?
That's what you wanted, man. You wanted to be in that circle, that brotherhood.
Yeah.
As an outsider coming in, you look at it and you're on the outside, you're like, man,
But you also had to work your way in.
Oh,
too.
and that's the only way to get it.
It was never given, bro.
You're never gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You're never gonna like wow someone with dropping names. You're never driving a car. Like even you put in that work. You showed up. You put in blood, sweat, and tears. You show up with a Cobra. Like, oh, this guy's driving a Cobra. Let's bring this guy into the club. No, it's like,
that car didn't mean shit. I just wanted, you know. I just wanted to be part of something. Like I had said earlier, I've always loved combat sports. You know what I mean? And then what was going on there, I was like, man, this is, you know, I want to be part of this, you know. And I did. I worked my ass off, you know, with my diet and everything. And these guys, you know, they slapped me around. They fucking got on my ass.
There's a signature of approval, man. That you got stamped with.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel it happened. Like,
you still got it? You still got it? Honestly, do you feel like you can step in tomorrow?
Oh no, I can't step in tomorrow.
No,
the cardio's not there.
But
do I still got it? Yeah.
Would you bite down a mouthpiece and throw a putazo if you had to? Hell yeah. And I know that.
Just open up the internet and you'll see.
I tell my wife all the time. Like I said, we talked about it. You say I talk about it all the time. You know, I always blame time. I always blame, you know, like, oh, I don't have enough time for this and I don't have enough time for that. You know, I was looking for excuses. Mm-hmm. You know, but every day, bro, every single day I think about like, fuck.
You know why I don't allow myself? You know, right now I'm 46 years old. You know what I mean?
I think we had that
46 years old. Up to this day, you know, I still get up every day, early in the morning. I go to the gym. I work out. Back then, you know, I wasn't too much into lifting because I would gain too much weight. You know what I mean? So, you know,
it was hard to make that
right. You know, a month out before the fight, I would cut the weights just because I couldn't drop the weight. You know, so I would bulk up, and then the last month I would cut. Nowadays, you know, pretty much the same thing right now. I actually just started working out 2 weeks ago. To be honest with you, the past eight months since my kid was born, I kind of just relaxed, bro. To be honest with you, you know, I get my 2 days in. That's it. Grow my pants up, bring it back down. Grow it, bring it down. You know, but nonetheless, you know, I think more than anything, I just have that drive, bro. I just don't allow myself.
Itch, man.
I just don't allow myself to slack way, and I always have that saying in my head, and you know, something that we would always say is you always got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You know, I know it's a cliche or it's a saying that's been around, but I've always had that in my head, bro, and I've always lived by it. You know, so I always try to stay. I have a punching bag at home, so I hit the bag, and the reason I hit the bag because 2 years ago when I got a fight over in the line with 3 guys, I ended up hurting my knuckle, my left arm, my left hand way. It was hurt for like 4 months way. It was kind of like what you had here, but it didn't, I probably fractured it. I didn't take an X-ray, you know what I mean? But like it was tender, you know, it was tender for like 8 months, but it was like sore for like 4 months. So that's when I was like, you know what, I need to start you know, getting back into to combat, you know, sports.
So any business ventures right now or anything?
I got a lot of business ventures, you know, gracias a Dios, you know, all of you guys know, you know, once 413, I'm still in a lawsuit with 413 Fitness Center. You know, still going through that lawsuit, still fighting for my gym, still fighting for what's owed to me, you know. Luckily, you know, I've had many jobs. You know, once I, you know, finished that career, I kind of lost a year in trying to, because you don't want to let go of what you had. You know what I mean? So it was kind of hard for the first year. I did personal training for a whole year. Luckily, I was luckily I had a full schedule, and I was living a good life off of personal training. You know, and I did that for a year, and then after that, you know, Octavio, you guys know Octavio Madrigal. He's been bugging me forever. He got me into the mortgage industry.
Nice.
So, you know, started doing that. And then, you know, off of what I always do is I started the COF Corporation. And I do marketing and business consulting off there.
Oh, shit.
So basically, like if you want to start a business like you,
of course.
You want to get a corporation going, LLC, I'll get your corporation going. I'll file your paperwork with the state. I'll get your EIN number. I'll get you set up with your taxes, and then from there submit to the city.
Where were you 9 years ago?
I submit to the city. Then from there, I structure all your policies and procedures, your employee contracts. So from point A to point Z, I pretty much, you know, could build a business. You know?
Oh hell yeah!
And you know, all that is from all this time that I've always had, you know, businesses. When I was in San Bernardino, I had a towing company. You know, I cashed out my retirement, opened up a towing company. You know, So pretty much that's what I do. Luckily right now I'm consulting 2 other companies that, luckily, pay me, pretty decent money. So, and I also do blueprints and renderings. We opened up a construction company with Madrigal Development.
Yeah.
So all I do is
what'd you say?
This guy has a muscle shirt. Where's this?
Madrigal Development.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you guys see the commercial, I also have we have a guy that does Oscar Valles. He does all our marketing stuff. He does it for us, and so basically, if you see some of the videos that I've done for Brickhouse Deli, Tucker's Auto Body Shop, Madrigal Development, Silva's Barber Shop, soon Ilario's Barber Shop.
Yeah.
Homie, you are smart for getting hit so much, bro. Like, it's amazing.
Damn, bro.
So I have the ability of learning software. So like right now, the only thing I don't know how to do in blueprints is like the legend as far as what the architects put.
Yeah.
But other than that, I could do the whole site plan. I could do the blueprints. I could do everything.
No kidding, dude. So what's your contact? How does somebody get a hold of you if they want to?
Well, you could Google me. It's on Google. I have a registered corporation and everything. So.
Okay, right on. So it'd be under Ulises Cortez. Nice, nice.
So I'm doing that right there and just staying busy, bro. Staying busy and. You guys already see my dogs too.
Dog trainer.
Love my dogs. Not the only ones I train now. The dogs. They learn faster than Ceasar.
Do you know how to tame a dog?
Dude, anything with a dog, I know.
Oh no, man! My sister got this German. You love German Shepherds? This German Shepherd, they've had this dog since it was a puppy, bro. But dude, this dog's possessed, bro.
You remember my German Shepherd?
Oh yeah, you got bit. Did you get bit?
That chased me on the car.
Chased him on top of the roof at your party.
It was like
before you got there.
It was like 4 of us on top of the car.
Dude, I don't know, man. My sister's dog, dude. I'm like when it sees me. One time I thought I finally made a breakthrough with this dog because this dog was just wanted to tear me apart. I got it to the point where I even laid down next to it, right? Dude, but it seemed like a minute later it forgot all the work I put in. It was already like his hair standing up in the back, and I'm like, there's something wrong with this dog, man. This dog has issues. But with my sister's family, dude, the dog's a puppy. Anybody out of that circle, forget about it, bro. Yeah, there's something wrong with that dog.
That's what dogs do, bro. If you raise them normally, that's what they'll do. They'll stick with the family, especially German Shepherds. They're very protective dogs. You got to understand what type of dog you have and what their work ability is. And that's what they're meant for, They're family dogs, but they're protection dogs,
This dog's on another level, though, man.
Like my dogs, they were cool. Lobo, the one that chased him, they were cool. But if my sons were outside,
forget about it.
He was like you're saying, like you're saying right there, So they're very protective over their family,
dude.
My Mals, they're super active, bro, but those dogs are something else. They're just so smart, man. They're easy to train, man. So easy. A lot of people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, dude, I just talk to them,
So back to the question he had asked you, or I'll just ask you like this: will we ever see Ulises the Punisher Cortez back in the cage? Will that ever happen?
I won't let it. I won't let it.
You know what? One of the things I look at some of these UFC fighters, bro, that go back into a cage. And if I ever, I'm not gonna lie, about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
about 2 years ago, I was talking to him. I was like, I was super in shape, bro. I was just.
No, I remember. I remember seeing you, bro.
Lifting stupid weight. I was just like. I was running 5-10 miles.
I had never seen you that big, and I had never seen you that lean at the same time.
Yeah, dude. It's just that I was very, luckily I have a wife that is into training too. So when we're on our eating program, it's like right now we are the last 2 weeks. I've already lost like 12, 15 pounds.
Nice.
So and it's not even trying. It's just eating right and training. And but luckily my wife's all about it, bro. So once the cooking's in, And sometimes I'm slacking off and I see her training. Guess what? I got to train. So it's like I don't let myself slack off. Bro, that plain simple. What I consider going back into the ring, I look at all these fighters, like name some old fights like
Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell,
even Tito's out, bro.
Cerrone's on his way out.
Cerrone not that much because he's still active, bro. But I'm looking more like the Nogueira's brothers and these cats that been out for about 5 years, and then come back. I never want to be in a situation where
Vitor is that one dude that you still see. And you're wondering why the fuck is this dude still fighting?
Vitor is a special. He's a special circumstance. I think. Like he's one of those ones that.
But you look at him, and what's sad about it is that the shit they're putting in their bodies just to get to that.
That's the thing.
It is what it is. No one's gonna that's why they're in their promotions that they're doing because it's the money thing. At the beginning of those careers. It was like us, bro. There was no money in these promotions.
But you know what? I'm glad we didn't take that route. Like
I know,
back in the day,
exactly,
bro. None of us.
Yeah.
Well, you can look at our bodies. Like we.
I didn't know tortillas were part of the regimen.
None of these. We weren't taking none of the roids or none of the crap. The reason being is.
I think they would have beat our ass if you even thought about it.
Bro, that's one of the things that I grew up kind of naive about that shit, and even up to this day, I'm a little bit naive about it. I mean, know more about it now because I'm in the weightlifting, and all these power lifters that I've dealt with, and all these other guys. But that was never even an option. That was never even talked about. Because if you brought it up, you're gonna get your ass knocked out. Because you knew that right there didn't help you.
And we knew
if you got a buff guy fighting you, bro, I was like.
Hell papacito, vente pa acá.
Yeah, bring it out.
Bring it.
Because all that muscle, you're gonna gas out so fast.
You found out real quick in the gym. It's like you'd see guys. And
we had a couple guys come in that were all yoked out,
and they were jacked, and they would push you off, but they wouldn't stop
last.
us.
No. They wouldn't last, dude.
They wouldn't last. They get choked out.
I think if anything, they realized that.
One of the things like I could honestly say, and as far as like. In the fighting, the guy that impressed me with his strength was Michael Pratt, bro, and he was nothing but a wrestler, and I had fought guys that were bigger than him, buffer than him, everything. But this guy, when we clinched, I never have in my wrestling, MMA,
practice
everything,
or anything,
nothing. I've never felt somebody that strong, bro.
No kidding.
Michael Pratt was something else, bro. Like I body locked him and took him down. And he fucking threw me in mid-air way. Just from his core strength.
Core strength.
You know what I mean? And that right there lets you know like the real legitness as far as strength wise for fighting is weightlifting is not applicable,
Right.
To a certain extent, yes it is, you know. You do need weights, you do need weightlifting, you do strength and conditioning, obviously, but not the same way as
because we never had weights, we never lifted weights.
Well, we did, but it was very minimal.
We did it on our own. Like we always emphasize to do that on your own. Because ours was to build technique.
I mean, we had our circuit training.
We had circuit training.
Well, that thing is that.
But remember, we had stations.
We had the stations.
We had the stations where you did suicide. You had the bars.
There's like one kettlebell, 35 pounds. I think.
But that was the thing. It was for more range of motion and learning to use your body and its own strengths. You know what I mean? Everybody had different techniques, and we just kind of used that. Like the stations was just to get you ready for practice. You know what I mean? Because once practice started.
Well, remember we ran it like military, bro. It was cadence: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3.
The box jump stuff,
everything.
Everybody in lines, you had squad leaders, you had front squad leaders, and back squad leaders. If they fucked up, I would, make them do push-ups. Ilario had the bag anyway. Or vice versa. Whoever's leading the class that day.
Those ones, for some reason, I didn't mind too much. I really didn't mind too much because I was already feeling good and everything.
Well, because you weren't doing it, you weren't doing the station by yourself. Everybody was doing the same work.
And you had the guy behind you pushing your ass, like fucking move, So it was like shit. And good luck having Nacho behind you because his ass is either gonna run you over or fucking yell at you, and who knows what the hell is. And then Louis, you don't want Louis behind you because 2-finger Louis, you're gonna jump that box.
Everybody taps out to that guy.
And that's what I mean about the shit we can do now is what we got away with back in the past. We can't do that no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, man. You know what?
You're not allowed to go to Team United.
We even had some females, Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine, dude.
La Negra.
Dude, when we're sitting here, I was trying to remember her name.
Jocelyn.
I just ran into her a few months back. Her niece plays softball. I ran into her.
haven't seen
She's
her
in San
forever.
Diego.
Oh, okay.
She's great job, started life. She's doing good.
Yeah.
And Jasmine tampoco, I haven't seen her in forever.
Let's not forget about Jacob Baiza.
Jacob Baiza.
Bro, I was always impressed with the way he could handle the mitts. The patty.
You know what? He picked it up pretty quick.
He was good, man.
And I told him that too. I'm like, you know how hard it is to pick that up?
Yeah.
Like he grabbed it and then he started doing it.
He started
And he got good
patting
at it.
everybody.
Everybody wants to get patted.
And it's crazy, dude. We're gonna leave out so many people.
Yeah.
Because there was so many
Man,
people that
you
were
know,
a part of this.
Spider Monkey, man.
Everybody, dude.
That guy pops out
Luis,
to
all them fools.
Spider Monkey.
And there was people that were commenting, and I was like, I know that face. I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit, that's Homeboy. I don't remember their
just ran
name
into-
because I think it was just pura pinches cagazons that we would be like, I'm gonna drill. And then like El Raymond, what was his last name?
Elizalde.
Elizalde.
Bro,
Ray.
Ray fought for years after he left the team.
Mhm.
Went into the Air Force.
Yep.
And
Fought in Omaha, I think.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
with Jake Young.
Did a jiu-jitsu tournament with this guy.
Yeah.
see,
and these are, like I said, these are
Man.
it's just gonna keep popping in my head.
And this was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. I mean, unfortunately, one of our generals isn't here, Nacho, El Veneno, Juan Romo. But this is why I want to get us together, just to kind of, recap what we've done in the past and everything. Because people do, some people do forget. And sometimes, you got to remind them, like, hey, you know what?
But I'm okay with leaving the past in the past.
That's fine.
We've built a reputation that we never let our egos get bigger than our skill.
No,
you know what I mean?
for
And
sure.
that was one thing.
We're doing our own thing, bro.
Yeah.
We're doing our own thing.
Chris Howdigi, man. Remember Chris?
Howdigi.
Chris Howdigi is another name that got left
We're
out.
doing our own thing. We're kind of like, we're doing something that nobody else was doing. We're
Yeah.
kind of, trendsetters in that sense,
Yeah.
But
see, that's what made things so special, and that's why, like that life that we had, that's always gonna be with me.
course.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we don't see each other that much. You know what I'm saying? But we're still part of this brotherhood that ain't nobody gonna, nobody could ever take it away from us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like when my kids listen to the podcast, they'll be like, "Oh, Dad, I didn't know this, or I didn't know that." And I'm like, "Man, that was a whole nother life." And you know what? I'm gonna cherish that forever.
your dad almost made me lose a testicle.
I kissed him on the lips.
He probably did. One of those parties. But yeah, bro, like memories like this, bro. That's why I wanted to get us all together.
Well, look at like that party that we threw for you, bro. That was just, that, you know what I mean?
It
Like
was just-
all that stuff was just party.
Yeah, we
we
threw parties for everybody.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we try to
You
make
know.
everybody's, whatever the case may be, something,
and those pictures, when I saw them, bro, it brought back a lot of memories, dude. Because like Ilario just said, oh, we threw them for everybody, but not everybody threw them for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that's always going to be very special to me, and a memory that I can look back. Because sometimes we do forget. We're humans, and we have our lives. But sometimes it, like a little thing, will trigger a memory. I'm like, fuck, you know what? I remember that. And that's
bro, like this guy, we ended up getting after your fight. Oh, in Yuma, we ended up getting a fight with his cousin, way. And guess who he ended up backing up?
I remember.
He ended up backing us up, way.
I
Over his
remember.
cousin, way.
Yeah, I do remember that. Was it Yuma or was it Mexican?
It was
Mexican.
We went from Yuma, and then good thing we left from Yuma because that's when War Machine and I don't know who the hell beat up somebody in the hotel
It
room.
was War Machine and Dave. Wait,
shit.
You called us, remember? He called us like, "Hey, wait, whoa." I'm like,
Well, they were trying to listen to it, bro, and I was like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
I'll thrash both of you. Like I'm not in the mood.
Esta vez nos habló, nos dijo, güey, like, what's up? You need to just go back. No, way, it's cool.
Handled,
That's it.
the only one I was worried about
The way
was
is blah,
Justin.
blah, blah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So
And
we're over
Ernie,
here partying in Mex, way, and I'm not gonna say what's up,
Yeah.
but some shit went down.
Yeah.
And some dude tried to do a Superman flying punch on Nacho, and I see him hanging in the air, so I said, bang.
That's the day you're doing the running, man. I thought you're running. You're doing like a bunch of knees, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it was there. They threw a Bucanos bottle.
That was okay.
Yeah, that was that Mentirosa.
Yes, yeah. You know, and the thing was, when we used to go party like that, bro, I like going partying with you guys like that. Not so much because
You didn't go that much though.
No, but when I did, and one of the reasons I would go.
No. Se respeta because you're married.
Right. No, but I would tell my wife, you know what, I go. Yeah, I'll have one or two. And I'm enjoying what I'm seeing on my friends. But a lot of times, bro, like, I was looking out for you guys because just in case some
and vice
shit
versa, bro. We were all the same way. We,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, hey, no estás pisteando. And it was just like, hey, man, have a good time.
Yeah.
And we were on the same boat. Like,
and
TJ, I don't even think we drank in some of the parties we went to. It was just because
I always drove
14 or 15 kids that, like, we were taking kids to Tijuana without parents, in a van, in a hotel. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how did these parents let these kids come with us?
Because they saw how they were taken care of in the gym, bro.
They were taken care of. Yeah. But in a sense, we would still think like, God damn, bro, their parents let them come with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there was nothing inappropriate. There was nothing inappropriate going on. It was one of the things where, you get to taste the lifestyle in all its essence. In all its essence, because when you take a kid that's coming up, Ceasar was a good example, and you bring them backstage and you let them see what the process is of taping the hands and the camaraderie and the brotherhood and the you got your gloves on and you don't want to get them wet. Hey, somebody giving you just a drink of water was like, that's what that was about, and that's what kind of
putting people's shoes. You know what I mean? I'm a coach and I'm putting on his shoes, taking off his shoes.
Some people won't understand it though. They as much as they try to, they won't. Because I think at one point, my mom wanted to beat up Ulises. We're sparring, getting ready for a fight, and he catches me with the straight right. Boom. I remember I felt big old black eye. I felt my eyes just like instantly, and I was like, and I see Uli, like, he looks at me, he's like, should I hit him again? And I'm like, well, I'm already here, so I mean, and he's like, go put ice on it. I'm like, no, I'm good. Go put ice on it, cabrón. I was like, I turn around and I see this big ass well.
We knew how far to take it with these guys, bro. We knew exactly what they were capable of. But like we said at the beginning of the podcast, you train harder than you fight. 100%. And it's going to come down to it. And the parents understood that in the long run. The kids that became successful fighters and that made it to some level, they understood exactly what our process was. Because we made it clear at the beginning, your kid's gonna get his ass whooped. He's not, and I swear in my life that I can know any single one of these kids. Where are they now? None of them are pieces of shit. None of them are, none of them, they're respected, got families, they've grown to great people. And then like I said, we're not taking credit, but it was those ass whoopings that we got when we were kids because our parents were, you know what I I mean? And I learned that
then you knew my dad.
You know what I mean? And I think
he was strict, bro.
We instilled that discipline.
He was strict.
We instilled that discipline on the team.
In peace, he was strict, but he was good. He was a good dad.
And nobody ever. I mean, I was never talked negative from a parent. You know.
Nah.
They were a little apprehensive and hey, come on, take
my mom was like, I'm gonna whoop his ass. My mom, you better not gonna embarrass me up in the gym. I'm trying to get my.
And we expected it every now and then because accidents did happen. Kids would take an elbow, kids would take a knee or whatever into the face, and kids wore that shit with a badge of pride, bro. You see a kid come in with a black eye, he's like, "Oh, look what happened yesterday." I'm like, "Motherfucker, get out of here."
It was. It was a badge of honor to come out with a
battle scars.
You had your battle scars. You had your freaking welts right here, whatever, cut. It's like, hey, it felt good. It felt good because you felt like, hey, I put in some work.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
I got to the point where it was so consistent. We're like, I don't want a black guy today.
So, guys,
give me a black guy.
I don't want to keep you guys that much longer. I think I'm gonna have to split this into 2 parts because of the little glitch we had.
All right.
But I'm assuming that we've probably done about 3.5 hours.
Holy shit!
Total. Yeah, about 3.5 hours.
I gotta go, Mimi.
Son of a biscuit.
And sober.
So
what a trip. We're old.
But you know what? Quick question.
This is what time I go to sleep.
Yeah. You favorite MMA fighter?
Damn. Frankie Edgar,
my man. Ulises, your favorite MMA fighter?
Damn, bro.
I know there's a lot, but
that's tough. Go, Ilario.
I'm gonna have to say because of my stature was always Tank Abbott. My style was that, homie. Yeah. I'm not lying. Yeah. A bar fighter that just
an original.
I think I only had maybe one submission my entire career.
Roy Nelson would be there too.
Roy Nelson, but it was always Tank Abbott from a kid because the dude was just an animal, bro. Yeah. He put his head down. He fought. He threw putazos. He got his teeth knocked out. Put them back in his mouth. And kept on fighting, and that was what we were. That was what I was. That instance of fighting was like holy hell.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be like him.
I'm gonna go with like my first, when I was growing up.
Yeah,
fighter.
Yeah,
because I mean I have a couple of favorite ones, but Mauricio Shogun Ruaway.
Oh yeah,
was one of my favorite fighters by far.
Yeah.
He was well-rounded and everything. Right?
He was just his calmness way.
Yeah.
I just liked his demeanor.
Yeah.
His calmness, his fight IQ, was just on point. And anywhere you went with him, he was game,
Yeah.
And one of my favorite fights is him versus Henderson.
Yeah.
That was, they fought 2 or 3 times.
It was like
first two
wars,
times.
Man.
I always like the fighters like that, dude, with that calm, like Fedor.
Yeah.
Bro.
Fedor, and
brother. Him and his brother, el otro Emelianenko, that dude.
I want to say that's how I carried myself in the fight game.
Yeah.
We never showed emotion.
Very respectful, very calm.
If you
very
look
professional.
at it, people pick fighters that they kind of see themselves. Like I picked Frank Edgar because he was always underdog and a ball of energy, and constantly going forward,
And that's how we saw ourselves, bro.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, like especially in '93 when it started, I was 13 years old, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was the you go rent the video. The cage fight at UFC, blah blah blah, and I was like, and you're seeing these dudes getting hit in the nutsack. You're like
16.
Ew! Like, why is that dude hitting?
That
Shamrock? Yeah, just I was like,
it's a speed bag.
that looks fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like I said, we didn't understand what MMA was until mid '90s, late '90s. We're like, okay, it's a sport. How can I implement this in my world?
But that answered the whole questions, as far as like what skill is the best skill, what sport's the best sport, what combat sport is the most dominant,
And dude, MMA literally put a stamp on that whole bullshit stuff. You know what I mean? Like you didn't want to go to karate anymore. You didn't want to go to Taekwondo no more. You didn't want to go to Aikido, Shaolin,
No.
And you're sitting there like that little kid just choked out that old man. Like, that's sad. Like, what the hell? This guy's got like a 7th degree black belt.
Yeah.
We found out really quick that I think the only karate guy left in that game was
Lyoto.
El Thompson.
Oh yeah,
Thompson.
Thompson.
But like I said, it's very good.
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude.
Y también el Pérez, güey.
Pérez.
But he's Taekwondo though.
He's Taekwondo.
But it's
Taekwondo.
different though because there's different disciplines, but you don't see that in their entire fight.
Right.
I think for me, my I mean, I got 3, right? But I'll give you the top one. For me, just because
Ilario Castro.
just because how well-rounded, and he was very versatile, and his kicks where he would throw that one kick to the leg, or he would fake it but then come up top.
Silver?
For me, no, GSP.
GSP was he's a corner. He's a monster.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
a monster, bro.
Yeah.
GSP was bad.
He was even a wrestler, but he was a wrestler.
Because dude, and that was the thing.
Yeah,
like
he
his
adapted.
wrestling was off the charts,
Yes.
bro. For never wrestled, like what the
Went
fuck,
into a
you know what I
Canadian
mean?
wrestling team, Olympic wrestling team.
Yeah.
and
That
just
was
competed.
crazy, way.
Yeah.
That was
So
crazy.
so for me, it'd have to be
No,
GSP.
GSP definitely one of my top ones too, bro.
Yeah.
GSP.
Yeah. And then after that, I mean, you got like your Randy Couture, you got your Dan Henderson.
Hendo.
You know what I mean?
Hendo.
Like those would probably
Henderson,
be in
man.
my top 3 right there. I mean, I know there's a couple. Vitor, if I have to say it, he'd be in my top 5.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah,
Vitor.
Vitor's one of my favorite ones too.
Yeah.
Vitor.
Jose Aldo.
Especially when he was TRT Vitor. Forget about it, bro. That dude was something else. You know what I mean?
But the fight game's changed so much
it's
now,
changed, dude.
Like honestly, I talk to these young guys and I've seen them still going to the gym and it's not discrediting anybody, but it's not the same. The fighters aren't the same no more. The fighters aren't as, and I'm not saying they're not as tough, but they don't put their head down and throw chingazos like they used to.
Yeah.
Bro. You know what I mean?
Leonard
You know?
Garcia,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
the Korean Zombie, man.
Dude, it was just like you want to see. Now it's like you see a fight and the guy pulling guard and he's
Yeah.
rubbing around on the ground.
Well, it's kind of like we were talking about Rafa, way. You know, like a lot of people look at Rafa when he was coming up and he was doing all these fights with Combate America. You know, you're never gonna have your fans happy or the people that you know happy because they know what you're capable of, right? So back in the day, we used to look at Rafa and we knew that he had crazy stand up, and it was like, motherfucker.
Yes.
You know, like beat his ass. You know what I mean? Like
let him go.
Three under kick, you know, like shit, your combos, you know?
Yeah.
And he had crazy stand up and he just wouldn't do it. And then what does he critique now?
Yeah.
Why don't you take him down? Why don't you you know? So and
that's
tell
just
Rafa,
teams seeing the different angles.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is at now, is that the teams see a little bit something that you didn't see or I saw or whoever.
Yeah.
And then like, hey, try this.
Yeah.
I think we're relaxed too, way. Y te lo digo because I've seen Rafa and I've been at his, you know, not corner, but you know, right there. And to one of his fights in Combate America, he had his corner, and I try to be respectful. You know, I always try to be respectful, whatever. But they're calling out shit that, like, I'm hearing them calling it out. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, and. No disrespect to your corner. They have a game plan, and that's the reason why you know you gotta respect them. Yeah. Like if you ask Rafa, I never sent a message to be like, "Hey, do this, do that." Never. Yeah. Because he has a corner. Yeah. He has a fight team, and you gotta respect those things. Yeah. But nonetheless, when you're seeing somebody you care about and in there, and you see him in positions that you know he shouldn't be in,
I'm watching the TV. Like I gotta watch it by myself because I'm gonna flip.
You know, and sure enough, in his fights when he fought Ghost Pepper, I started screaming combos, and he, like one of the things I liked about. You know, and I think it's just the trust that you have in your corner, you know, and not only the trust, but it's just
like you read your mind.
A lifetime, you know, of training together, you know. Like, you know, I like Ceasar. One time he was fighting and he was fighting like a dumbass, you know. And, you know, I wasn't courting him that day. I was drinking and I was partying.
It was Cromo. I remember
that. You know, Luis was handling him. You know, his coaches were handling him. I didn't train him that time. Yeah. Because I was in and out of the gym. So, I was there. Yeah. But I was not in his corner. Yeah. So that day he's fighting and he's fucking fighting like a dumbass. And I go there and slap him. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Oh, take him his ass down, hit fucking angles. Yeah. Switch, re-switch, and re-shoot.
You know what? I remember that.
Remember the whole first round?
Bro. Yes. He was fighting for a title.
I remember
the whole first fight. The whole first round, I was trying to wrestle him, and it wasn't going. And then I think
the guy was stopping everything.
You came back, you fucking pulled me into a corner. And you're like, beat him the fuck up, like stand him up, box him out, and then sure enough. First combat comes out, hit him with the knee, dude gets wobbly, throw the hook, shoe shine, hook, he drops, and then everything turned on. Like,
cierto, because I remember there was a little bit of an incident afterwards, and I do remember that. And I think did Kelvin Gastelum fight in that?
He was on my undercard.
Yeah. He was, because I think I refereed his fight.
He fought, what was that dude, Doik went and rocked him, boom, and then his eyes got big, and then he almost took the fight, man. And then
that was at Nido, huh?
That was at Rancho Grande. Yeah. That Ernie fought Makeup that day.
Yeah. And I remember Kelvin was like real young, man.
He was like 17, I think.
He was super young, and then like I go, okay, this kid, you know, whatever.
He was like 17, 16.
And then again, like 2 years later, a year later, he's on the. I go, fuck, I refereed I think 2 of his fights. I'm like, holy shit.
Kevin is a fucking badass.
Yeah. Good fighter.
He's a badass fighter, bro. You know, like
he's always been game.
That made me feel good, bro. Like, damn, like, hey, I had the privilege of, you know, being in the ring with him when he was coming up, you know, and I'm like, wow, you know. So he's another one of my favorites.
And that's the thing, too, right now that Ilario was saying right now that the game has changed, and you asked me if I ever step in, it would take, literally, I would want to compete like in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, more than anything, you know, like do some competitions.
It's because it's way different, bro.
But like, you know, right now, just going with Rafa and pummeling with him, dude got me tired from pummeling.
That dude is strong, though.
But that lets you know that's the strength of a 155er. Yeah. I'm a 185er.
Yeah.
So if he has that power, not to knock anybody else down, but Rafa in his own respect is super strong.
Yeah.
You know, beyond his weight class. You know, and beyond his years. You know, he, you know, like I never measure him for. I never consider him a 155er. You know, that dude is super strong. You know, and you know, when he calls me to go train with him,
you know it's gonna be a
dude. It's a workout with him. You know, and and it's just like shit. You know, you know, of course I don't tell him, you know, but now he knows. But
you felt you know what he feels like now at the next level.
No, it's a totally different animal, bro.
Yeah.
He's still young and he's moving up.
Like before, I could tell you, me and him used to go at it back and forth, you know, in wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Right now, there's no way, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you got to keep it honest. You got to keep it what it is. Rafa's at a different level right now, bro. You know.
Yeah. There's times when I would train with them back to the dungeon back there at Sparta, and we would have our little wars, and I would think like, damn, maybe if I didn't work all this week and I had some time off, I'd be a little bit better. Maybe. And he just. But he was always getting better.
Because he never stopped training.
Yeah. He always would just. You know, it was just getting better, and getting better. It was getting away from me, but I could feel it. And me being the competitor, I'm like, hey, I want to get some
catch
back.
Up.
Now but you have to remember too the age difference.
Well, I understand that. Like, at that time, it was 13, and I was 20, and then my time was we're swapping. Where I was on my way getting out, and he was on his way coming up.
And that's how like it's hard to look at to call myself a professional fighter when you see these kids progressing, and you're like, I was there, dude, and I had my chance, and you're like, fuck, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, I do it, but I just want to say I'm so proud of that kid. I'm so proud of all of them that are still actually staying active, you know?
Yeah. But like I told him, you know, I mean, making that walk, man, not anybody can make that walk.
No.
I mean, I want to make that walk.
And it couldn't happen to a better person either.
Yeah, but to make that walk, to get into that ring or that cage, bro, that takes a certain type of individual to be able to do that, man.
It's the scariest, man. It's the scariest walk.
Because I told him that, you know, I told somebody that I had on the podcast, that cage and that ring, that's where the truth is going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
That's you know.
Once they close the door, there's nobody else in there but you and him.
You know what I'm saying? The truth is going to come out if you really, you know, are what you're going to portray to be.
And
I
don't think that's
and your corner to remind you who the fuck you are. Something.
The fight never scared me.
Yeah.
The fight never scared me. I never walked into a fight nervous or scared or like I was scared to face this dude.
Yeah.
Because growing up on, I don't want to say the streets because Ova wasn't a street kind of place, but I've been in fights in Central where you're like, oh shit! Yeah. I'm at the community center and all the
ways on the east side. You were training,
and I'm gonna get hit in the back of the head, and I'm gonna, you know.
You got to train on a daily basis with me and Nacho.
Yeah,
so who's gonna hit you harder, cleaner, faster?
Yeah, that wasn't even an issue.
Like literally, like
when people hit me and I look at him like
ilario, bro. You know, like you know, he was a big boy. So when it was fight camp for him, it was me and Nacho.
Yeah.
You know, Tyson, Louis, the big guys.
It had to be.
It had to be. Same thing with me, you know.
Yeah.
And you know.
But when it came down to it, it was never about the fight. It was the training, like we said before, and we were never scared of it, you know. And now I'm more scared of my life now than I was fighting. You know, like I got worried about my cholesterol and shit. Got to check my blood pressure and shit. I mean, I'm fine. I don't got nothing.
So I wanted to ask you guys your opinion on this, because I always hear fighters say this, and to me, I'm like, I don't know what to think of this when fighters say this. And Tito Ortiz used to say this shit a lot, and at first I was kind of like agree with him, but then I was like, no, I think you're full of shit. What's your guys' opinion when somebody says, you know, we go in the ring as fighters and we do this for the fans and we put this all on the line for you guys? How do you guys feel about that? Because this is my opinion, and you guys could, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. The way I look at it, especially when you get to this level, to that level, okay, I can see when you're coming up in the regional circuit, even when you go to Combate, okay, that you're doing it up to that point, I feel like, because you love it, the purity of the sport, the competition. When you get to this next level, like, no, you're not doing it to entertain me. You're doing it because you want that fat paycheck. You want the notoriety.
Simple as that.
You want the fame. You know, don't sit there and tell me.
I can just say in one shit, that's full of shit. You want to make money.
Yeah.
This was a job. This was a career that we chose. You make it, you don't. Yeah. That's why fucking some fighters are still pulling fucking cards. They're still trying to catch a fight. Yeah. Because they didn't make it as much as they thought they would at the beginning of their career. Right. And they're still holding on to what little's left of it. Yeah. And they're using it as a promotion because you'll see these older fighters at these just washout promotions. Yeah. And it's sad, dude. Like, come on, man, hang it up, dude. Like,
see, I always wondered, like, am I wrong for thinking this? Or
I just think we never made it to that level, so we really don't know what that money tastes like. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what a contract looks like. Yeah. I know that I got 3 to show and 3 to win. Yeah. You know what I mean? 5 to show, 1,000 to win. Yeah. When I got to Tijuana and they cut me a fucking stack of cash, I was like, that's $3,000, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, like for me, like when I found Bellator, I left like something I didn't finish, unfinished business. Yeah, man, I wanted to go in there for myself. I mean, I felt like,
but you got to taste it.
But they got a piece that took away from me, and that's how I see it. Every time I lose, someone takes a piece from it, piece of respect, piece of my soul, whatever it is. But yeah, you want to make that money, you want to keep doing it, you want to test yourself, you want to be better. But every time I lost, I would cry, man. And wrestling, it's starting 12 years old, man. And you give your heart and soul into it. So, I mean, even now, man, I feel like I left a piece out. I feel like I still got something to prove. And I'm gone. Like, I know that time's passed.
Bro,
but you did it because for the love of the sport.
And I feel like that was my unfinished part. Like, I didn't get to go wrestle in college. Yeah. And I kind of stopped. Yeah. And then this was my second chance. And I got there. And it didn't go where I wanted to. I give it I give it a fair shot, and I shook everything I got.
Yeah. But honestly, dude, things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. Our paths go in the directions they need to.
They do.
And I see it now where we've built a reputation that we've passed on to someone else, and that someone else is doing something with what we taught them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Saying? Yeah. And it's our kids, it's our training partners, it's our fucking Caesars, it's our Ulises. No matter what age it is, we still look at it like we pass that on. And whatever you do with what I gave you, or what you gave me, is what I'm going to do with it. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad. You know, like the young ones, dude, the youngsters that are still making it, are still fighting, are still training, you're like, fuck, I gave a little bit to that dude. And they'll throw you a fucking high five every now and then. That's all I want.
So, what do you think?
I think there's different levels to it. I think there's different fighters as well, too. I don't think we're all the same, you know? And that aspect, nor are we all doing it for the same reasons. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got fighters out there that are fighters. You got fighters out there that are athletes. Yeah. You know, just to like touch a little basis. First and foremost, anything you do it for yourself. Right. You know what I mean? Fighting, I did it for myself. Yeah. I did it for myself. I love the training.
The competition.
I love the competition. It was something it's something that's in me. You know, I love the competition, and then after that, it's for my immediate family. Yeah. And then after that, it's for my teammates. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because now I you know, not everybody can say this, but you know, I had a team, you know, behind me. I had coaching staff behind me. Yeah. Had training partners, and we all do. But I'm just saying different levels. You know. And then there is a part of you that you also want to leave a legacy, and you also want to make sure. I myself, in that sense, I always wanted to make exciting fights. You know what I mean? I never wanted my fights to be dull and you know, this is that. This guy fought the same way. You know, him is either you're getting knocked out or I'm knocking you out. You know, Nacho, same thing. You know. These guys, because you know they learned a little bit better than us. Yeah, they got all their schooling. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They ended up more on the technical side.
And I think that's what created their longevity in the sport, because they were lasting a little bit longer, because we were getting beat up. You know what I mean? I couldn't fight every 3 months. You know, like you say, dude. We passed that on.
I can honestly say I never took stitches. At all the fights. I actually, the only black eyes I got were in practice.
In practice,
I only got a busted lip and a loose tooth. That's it. Other than that, I never.
Gabe Marquez broke my eye socket.
No, and
That was-
and JJ probably cracked my orbital, but never took JJ Ambrose,
Yeah.
who's still fighting.
Who's
That guy's
He's
a
still
monster
fighting,
still,
huh?
man.
He's still fighting.
He
Shit.
I think he was fighting at One FC.
Yeah,
and
I do remember when he like when the bell rang. I mean, he swung for the fences, and I think that's when he caught you because that's when you
dropped him.
You backpedaled to the fence because you were like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I ran away because we went at it way and I left hooked him and he dropped and he went to a knee, and then he got up and came up with 1, 2, and he got me with a third one. Boom, and he spun me and I was facing the opposite direction.
Yes.
I was like this and I was like,
And I think that's probably the punch.
and then he bum rushed me and I just picked him up and slammed him. We broke the cage with that slam way.
Yeah.
And then
that's where you had him right there. And that's where you finished him.
That's where I finished him.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything in the sport way, you do it for many reasons. Do you do it 100% for the fans? No.
Yeah.
It's always first yourself.
That's pretty cool.
That's why I always thought about that. And and when I do see some of these fighters, in the big show,
but in the
Some
big show
people
way,
do,
they are.
part of the promotion.
They're part of the promotion. You are a performer, not only a fighter. You are a product. You're yourself product. Not that we're not ourselves, but like Ilario was saying, it's at a bigger scale. So to a certain extent, like I in that sense, I always want to make exciting fights way because
nobody wants to see a boring fighter.
No way. It's like you go in there to
And you
take
made
the
it-
dude
you made it
out.
very clear from the beginning.
But there's also a flip side to it. There are people out there that just want that attention.
And that, you know what I mean? There's guys that want the attention.
I want to be the light. I want to be the star.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm hitting pads. Look at me. I'm
I
doing
know
this.
that, like the guys that give themselves cauliflower hair.
Oh shit!
I'm jealous. I still don't have.
Wait, I wrestled all my life. Wait,
Yeah.
I only have it back here, but you can't even tell.
I don't have
tell.
any
Because I always
cauliflower.
took care of my ears.
Yeah.
As soon as my
But
ears were
that's
sore,
what it is. Like you say, you want the attention. Some people are attention whores. Wait, some people like that.
I know fools that would hit their ears or se lo
fuck.
piscaban con pliers. Wait,
Oh fuck that.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What are those guys here in the valley that were that one guy on number 9 in the world that grappled this person? It's like, dude,
I mean, I was draining ears in your bathroom, dog. You know what I mean? Come on, dog. Like, we took care of ourselves.
I don't wait. Stay away. We're draining his ear in the bathroom, bro, and Aron's all panicked, and Ilario.
Relax, calm down.
I got the needles from my sister or my brother-in-law, you know who, and
I took 2.5 syringes out of
Hilario's pulling it away, and Aron's making faces. I'm moving Hilario. I'm hitting Aron way. Dude, we're
It was-
crying.
it was- like I
we're
said,
crying.
the IV bag with the Rafa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good time.
I mean,
It was amazing times.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change it for the world. I would
hell
never
no.
look for
It's
another.
good to talk about it. It's good to reminisce. The story and the history is their way, and he has his version. You have your version. He has his version. I have my version.
It's just the perspective.
We have our things that we kept, or what's more important to us or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't change nothing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't regret anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. I lived my life to the fullest.
Yeah.
I had fun when I did it. There was highs, there were lows. There was good, there was bad.
Yeah.
times you tick off
I mean,
all messed up. man.
we could tell other stories that
this thing will go all night.
that are
Yeah.
horrible.
This thing will go for days.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We got to do another part to this because
I don't know if we can, bro.
No, we can because there's so much stuff out there.
There's so much good stuff, and there's so much. Like the flip side of that too, when you lose, man, that's a lonely side of that.
But
You
see-
can't even talk about just that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say nothing, but like there was one day that I knock on Hilario's door, and he's taking care of all the kids, and I'm full of blood everywhere. I'm like, Hilario, let's go. He's like,
Go where?
no, he just looks at me. He's like, all right, motherfuckers, get up, let's go, let's go.
I grab the trash bag, put your shoes, put your pants, everything
Let's
in
go.
the trash bag. I know how to clean up a situation. Let's just put it that way.
Who got the shovel?
Oh no,
Oh,
it
no
was-
shovel.
No
All right,
shovel
cool.
necessary.
All right,
It
good.
was a very interesting evening.
Yeah. Wow.
It just got home too. Fucking horrible, man.
Wow.
Horrible.
No, but for sure, dude. You know what? We got to do this again, and hopefully, Nacho will be on the next one. I hope, and if not,
I would like you guys to bring like the other coaches. You know what I mean? Like bring some of those dudes back.
Yeah, Luis.
and I do.
Try to get Luis.
I do.
Justin, bring Justin here.
Justin, bro.
Justin,
Justin's awesome,
Gabriel Godinez.
I think you would get a different perspective to see what they thought of us.
Well,
you know what I mean?
then maybe that's what I'll do.
Yeah,
Because Gabriel and Luis, they took over the team
after we left. Yeah,
kind of like they ended up taking the team for quite maybe a year. You know, and I stepped out. He had stepped out. Nacho was in and out, but nonetheless, Luis and Gabriel were and him.
Yeah,
honestly,
and
at that
Ceasar,
point in
they're handling.
Louis was working 2 jobs, and he was working 2 jobs. Somehow he would make it back to the gym, and he'd still go home, and he had his wife over there and his kids. I don't know how he did it to this day. I still ask him, and I talk to him, and he's like, just Papa Louis doing Papa Louis things.
Yeah, it's because again, dude, I go back to the whole purity of the thing, is that the pure love we have for the sport. And the working out and being together
doing
and
P90.
Yeah,
remember the P90 workouts for a little bit.
Yeah,
do the yogas with a little small TV.
Yeah, all that stuff, bro. And that's something
I learned my MMA. A lot of people don't know from what's that boxing?
Typo. Yeah, Typo.
Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks. Good old Billy Blanks.
But yeah, dude. So
I would think that'd be a good idea to bring those guys on and see it from a different point of view.
Yeah, and it all it's gonna come down to scheduling
and hear the real stories of us and what we were really like.
They get it from the fighters.
I get it that we were hard on these dudes, man. We were extremely hard on these dudes, and it was only to better them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was. I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, I was in a point in my life where I wasn't gonna ask somebody to do that I wasn't willing to do or I haven't already done.
Yeah.
And we push that we emphasize that on every single training part. Like, I'm gonna hit you as hard as Nacho's hit me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're gonna know what it's gonna feel like.
Yeah.
Because in the ring, in the cage, wherever you're fighting, you're gonna know that guy's not gonna hit you harder than I hit you.
I think the scary part of it was they were gonna beat your ass if you didn't do what they told you to, like working out.
Yeah,
it makes it sound so bad.
Because it wasn't initially. It was like you were scared, but that's what you were choosing to do. That's the choice you made when you walked through those doors, and you knew
we never asked anybody to.
No, you didn't. You would kick them out.
Yeah.
On the contrary, hey, you don't want to work, get out.
Get out.
But we chose to go there.
Yeah.
Hey, I know what I'm signing up for. I know what I want.
Yeah.
No, get out. You're not good enough. No, I'm not going nowhere.
Right.
Oh, get your ass beat then. Okay.
Yeah.
You signed up for it. That's what you looked for, and that's what Robinho signed up for and came back for every time.
And that was one of my favorite parts was when we were already kind of established in there, and then when the new guy would come in just to kind of see what was up, and like, yeah, come on in.
You saw me there.
Come on in. And before you know it, they're like, peace out. It's like, dude,
there was a revolving door at one point where people were just coming in and out, and it was just too hard because where we've grown, we grew together, and it was already like we were at a level. Yeah. When a new person would come in, it was too hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Even with the kids that were just.
I think at one point we were up to 120 people.
Yeah, it was insanely busy, dude.
With the kids
and everything,
class,
right?
the youth, and then the afternoon class, the fighters.
Yeah.
We're up there in numbers.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I remember one time they went in the room. It was my first couple of days practicing, and Ulises like, go in the room, and I go in the room, and Justin kicks me out. Get out of here. I'm like, hey, what is it get out? Like, Justin told me that it's a fighter's room, and I mean, Justin was already getting torqued up since he was like little, so I mean, since he was younger, so he's like, no, go back in the room. So
Justin,
he's like,
I had him at 14, 15 years old.
So I go back in, Justin's all, I mean, there's a point when me and Justin we're trading him. And we look at each other, we bite each other's mouthpiece, like we're biting down mouthpiece where it's gonna go down. And and I remember Ulises watching, and you can feel Ulises watching, it's about to go.
Yeah.
And we chuck and we start throwing, and all our punches are falling short, like probably like half an inch or something. Yeah. There's like 14 punches
just going
like,
at it.
Ulises like, what the fuck was that? Both of you guys, get the fuck out of here. It was like, and I looked at Justin, were you trying to hit me? Yeah. Dude, like, I just felt air. And we went to Burgers to Beer. We had a cut weight dinner, right?
This motherfucker shows up where we're all eating salads, and this cabron shows up and orders chili cheese fries, and I'm like, you piece of shit. Everybody started talking shit to him, bro. We're like, tú también, cabrón.
Yeah. So, anyways, hopefully we didn't leave too many people out, man. There's a lot of names that deserve an honorable mention. You know, I know we touched a little bit on the, you know, also, you know, for what it's worth, give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to the fucking the MMA commission in Mexicali, because they're still trying to. This dude has still been involved in this thing for the longest time. Yeah, Luis is still trying to handle the whole damn thing over there.
Yeah, but that's their fault, bro.
Yeah.
That's their fault. The reason why the MMA industry is where it's at because of the monopolization that they were doing previously.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
it's hard to restructure
promoters like me.
Yeah.
I won't, you know what I mean? I won't go again with
Yeah.
I won't go and spend my money and invest and pay him $600 to fuck me over.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
Luis Ayala and his commission and all that stuff, bro. They push away. Same thing with Junior. You know, he won't mess with him for the same reason, bro. Because and look at now that company that they're protecting.
Yeah.
Now they're throwing fights again, but there's no.
But it's not the same. Like
because they weren't paying weight. Like you know, Fight Factory was doing 9 amateur fights and 2 or 3 pros.
Yeah.
When I was doing 9 pro fights and 2 or 3 amateurs.
Yeah. Man, imagine if China's would have got buried under the amateur.
But that's like I said. That's just what it is now, bro.
Yeah.
No. I understand it, but trust me, in that aspect that you're talking about, I do. EFC is something that I do want to bring back.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
bro, that'd be badass.
EFC is something that I want to bring back.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have, you know, not on the fighting level, more on the promoting level.
What if I want to fight still?
Oh, no.
You're still young. How old are you?
34.
All right.
I think
You're good.
Yeah, Nacho still. I still got you.
Yeah.
Homie, I was on my prime at 33.
I remember Nacho took up the boxing at 33 to 34 and won the national championship.
I was
ankle, right?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I think just to play a little bit of a
when people
devil's...
tell me their age, way, and then they tell me this and that, you know, like
I started at 19.
exactly, you still got it in you, way.
Yeah.
Trust me. If I would consider going, if I trained way, why wouldn't you? Hear me?
Yeah.
That's on the real.
I think to play devil's advocate with the whole thing over there across the border, I think there's too many. This is why I see it. I think this is just my guess. You got too many commissioners over there because you got a boxing, which has always been top,
the umbrella
right?
of the
and then you got the lucha libre. The MMA side is down here, and I think to change anything, I think it has to start from the top. And I think, again, from my perspective, I think there's probably some type of battle going on right there. I think entities want to be on their own. This entity wants to keep this entity under here. And
because it's like a popularity fight. You know, everybody knows what the real deal is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Boxing became a wash, you know, for a while.
Yeah.
Lucha libre. It's lucha libre, you know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna put that over MMA?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you go to a real MMA fight, and like you put on some fucking amazing fights, and you bring the public, and they're like, "What the hell have we been watching for the past 20 years? This is what I want to see."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what their little umbrella is. What they're scared of is seeing its own entity or commission build.
Yeah.
Because you need refs, judges, scorekeepers. All I mean that they don't have.
Yeah, because there was an event that was supposed to happen, I think it was last month, and I was down for it and everything, and then come to find out it got canceled for some type of political reasons or whatever, you know what I mean? I think because of certain fees or whatever. Yeah. And that was kind of out of his control, you know what I mean? When I got the little bit of a backstory to that, I was like, well, fuck, dude, like, well, yeah, I'm thinking, like, why you letting this happen like this? You know what I mean? So I know they're going to do another one. It's supposed to come back. And I know that there's been talks about giving some recognition to, you know, like basically the foundation of MMA down, you know, over there.
Oh yeah, I've heard about it several times where they, hey, would you come to our promotion, just do that? I'm like, bro, let me just show up and watch the fights.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah.
There's no recognition. There's no nothing.
Well, I know that's being worked on.
Yeah,
that actually, I do know that because MMA on the MMA side, the foundation, how do you want to call it? The founding fathers of, you know what I mean? The pioneers is the word I'm looking for, have never gotten the recognition. And apparently, this is what's kind of being thrown back and forth to get this thing done and give some recognition to the pioneers, especially like EFC. I mean, what other big promotion was there?
I was the first.
You were the first.
I was the first and biggest promotion.
Exactly. And I think with that said, I think that does deserve some recognition. You know what I mean? And I feel that it should go down in the books, in their Hall of Fame down there.
If it comes down to it, bro, just bring it back up and starting over, dude. Like, that's the opportunity you need to look at. Like, how can I just erase the past? Let's start fresh. Let's start new. As a promotion, because it's not one man, bro. It takes
no. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to. I'm always gonna say like it is, way.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean,
no,
and
for sure.
I have no pelos in my lengua.
No.
And if anybody gets butthurt, well, too bad. It's the truth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did I pay you $600? Yeah. Did you sanction my event? No.
Yeah.
Did you allow another event to throw an event?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's where it gets kind of sketchy.
And then at the end of the fight, remember, I ended up getting two or three fighters because, and then they rigged it because they two gyms didn't show up their fighters.
Yeah.
They
yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? They try to do me dirty.
I remember that.
And two of the gyms canceled their fighters on me.
Yeah.
I lost 3 fights, and then I ended up getting some random guys. Remember? And and then Luis was trying to find me at the end of the fight, and then I went off on him. I told him, "Tú me echas una multi ahorita te parten tu pinche madre, cabrón, a ti a todos a la verga." And I'm saying it on video because that's what I fucking told him.
Yeah.
He said, "Metió el diablo," and I would have fucking fucked him up, bro. You know what I mean? Because what's right's right and what's wrong's wrong, and what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
100%. What he's doing, I would never give my money to them again.
Right, I got you. I got you.
And if I were to go that route, I'd go above him again, just like I did before.
No, I respect
Luckily, I got some, some pull,
Yeah.
In the right places over there.
Yeah.
And political wise.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to throw them in, I could throw them in. You know what I mean? So Luis or nobody's not going to stop me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
So it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to handle it regardless.
Yeah.
So, and there ain't nothing he can do about it.
No, I got you, man. And I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And I think you're going to have, especially from this side, man, so much support. I mean, I think everybody's just...
People need it, bro.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is because I do it the right way. I do it for the right reasons, which is the fighters giving a platform, two, giving the public a good show. You know, like all my shows was about giving us a good spectacular. We had half times with go-go dancers. We had singers. Jerry. Got to sing my event on my third event, the one that you were talking about. It was always about making the
production
great production, bro. So doing something legit, something that these guys as fighters are like, I fight for that company. And not only that, not only they fight, but they get paid as well. You know what I mean? Because these fighters don't get paid. They're over there in Mexicali. They're fighting for $200-$300 still up to this day. What we're doing back in 06. And to me that's not right.
No.
To me that's not right. I think all the fighters should be paid. All this monopolization with all the amateurs that they keep amateurs for. There's not a big enough platform for amateur fighting in a mix. You know what I mean? Because as it is, there's very minimal fighters.
They make it very difficult to go
pro. I mean? And they keep them amateur for a long time for the same reason, so they don't have to pay them.
Right.
And what do the promoters do? Oh, I'll donate a bag to your gym. Oh, I'll donate some gloves, and they're happy with that. I'll put you on my magazine, which that's what Fight Factory was doing. They were putting all these fighters on their little magazine that's printed in Mexicali, and they thought there were somebody who's like, bro, get the hell out of here, man. You see some of these fighters getting interviewed. You see some of these guys talking about, Ceasar was talking about it earlier, that they say, or I don't know if it was you or him that was saying, oh, I'm ranked this in the world, I'm ranked that in the world. It's like, bro, you're not even in the UFC. You're not even in Bellator. You're not in one championship. You're not in. I mean, I can name several promotions.
What world is this? Wayne's World?
You're not even in any of these companies, and you're saying you're third in the world.
Yeah.
You know, in your division.
Yeah.
Get the.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean that's very simple. I mean,
Or spread
No, but I say it because guys like that,
Yeah.
you know, they try to be above like people that are in the game, like Rafa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, guys
Sad,
like
man.
Rafa don't get the notoriety in
Yeah.
Mexicali
Yeah.
as he should,
Right.
because these other guys are claiming to be something that they're not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then you got these, you know, commissions or these companies or whatnot legitifying what these guys are saying by repeating it, by putting it on their platform, not by saying, well, explain to me, how are you number 3 in the world if you don't even fight for the UFC?
Yeah.
Or you don't even fight for Bellator or one championship? How are you number 3 in the
Yeah.
world?
Yeah. Even
You know?
even PFL, like
Nothing, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like so, and that's what kind of like. That's the reason why I also want to get back into a promotion, you know,
Yeah.
because I love MMA. Whether I do it on my own, whether I call Ilario and let's kick each other's ass,
Yeah.
you know, or tell CJ let's grapple, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm always going to do it, and I'm always going to be involved. So to answer your question, I'm not, you know, MMA is not something that is a pastime or was something that was in my life at one point in time. Not that I want to let it go, but it's something always going to be with me. Why? Because now I have children.
Yeah.
You know, like his daughter does jiu-jitsu, and she's really good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, now I have my kids. With my other kids, I never pushed them into sports other than working out.
Yeah.
But I never forced him to do any sports. You know, now I have the ability with my younger son. I think, you know, I'm gonna implement.
Yeah. You could pass something down.
I'm gonna pass something down to him, like I did to all my kids. You know,
Yeah.
like all my, you know,
Yeah.
Ilario. These guys coach my kids more than myself. I
Yeah.
never wanted to coach my kids. I always
Yeah.
stayed away from it. It was
Yeah.
like,
I feel the same
you
way.
know,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Ilario too. You
Yeah.
got to coach your daughter in wrestling.
I didn't. I passed that on to another coach. But
It's
when it was,
funny,
when
right?
it
same
was-
thing,
when
bro,
it was
you
time
know?
to be dad, it was time to be dad.
Yeah.
But she was the one that emphasized, Dad, work with me on this. And Dad,
Yeah.
let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's try that.
It's
And
because
I'm
with
like,
your
okay,
kids,
cool.
way, and I saw it at a young age, is you're even if you don't want to, you're gonna want them to do better because you know they can.
Yeah.
So you're always gonna push them more.
Yeah.
And then that it no longer becomes fun for them. You know.
Exactly.
And then and then what happens? They turn away from the sport.
Exactly.
And instead of you teaching them a love for the sport,
Yeah.
they hate it.
They
Dwayne.
hate it. Yeah.
They hate it because all it is, you know, your daddy getting them in trouble and screaming
Yeah.
at them and judging them.
Yeah.
And you're never good enough, and you're always making, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
I totally
that's,
agree.
you know, but there's ways of doing it. You know, I
Yeah.
think I'm in a point where I'm mature enough to take that responsibility on and be like, you know, like, hey, wait, do it, but. You know,
Right.
Yeah, it has to be like a surgeon, you know.
Yeah, baby
Precise
steps.
cuts.
Yeah.
Everything is precise cuts because
Yeah.
anything you do, you could push them away. You know.
It's funny you say that, like with Bella. Like I started her super young at 4, and she started. I taught her the basic stuff. Like
Super shy girl,
Yeah.
super quiet.
Yeah.
I tell her, hey, just little game, make keep your chin underneath my chin, and
Yeah.
she's doing this and hand control, and next thing you know, like take the back seat belt, like little terms,
Yeah.
and she's running it, and she's like, hey Dad, I'm tired of jiu-jitsu, can I do wrestling? Yeah. Well, she's looking really good when I'm there, but when I'm not there, she's like playing with the wall.
But that's
Yeah.
good though, bro, because
Yeah.
she's just there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean,
and
they're
I
still
talked-
babies, bro. They're still little. You
Yeah.
know, you didn't see your talent progress until
Oh, yeah.
6th, 7th, 8th grade. You know, and then when you're like, I'm getting ready to high school. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
get better.
but my main
You
thing
know?
was
she's just there. That's
want
all
her
you need her there.
I want her to want it though. I don't want to be that person that
Yeah.
has to be there to
Yeah.
show. I want her to I want her to fall in love with the sport, just
Yeah.
like I did,
Yeah.
and like you did, and like you did.
My
with everything
daughter's
else.
on the same boat. My daughter's 14 years old. I said, this is a girls program. We're going to do this girls program. Do you want to be a part of it? Yes. I
That's all
never
you want.
once told her, you need to be at practice. I always let her beat me there just to see if she'd show up.
Yeah.
I'd always show up, and I would stay in the back until it was my turn to take over the class or whatever. Bro, she ended up, as a freshman, taking 3rd in CIF.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
unheard
saw
of.
that. I saw that.
You know, going to
That's good.
Masters, she hurt herself at Masters, but it wasn't like the good job, Dad. You know,
Yeah.
it was like, hey, you did this, dude.
Yeah.
You know, with coach's help. I was just there, kind of observing.
Yeah.
You know, I would tune it a little bit, but it was never living vicariously through my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing
And
that a lot of parents do is that you were a CAF champ. Your kid ain't gonna be a CAF champ.
Yeah.
You have to realize that they're gonna have their own
path.
Yeah, their own path that they're gonna take.
Their own path.
And I talked to my daughter about it. I'm like, hey, if you want to be a gymnast, I got you. I don't know anything about gymnastics, but I'll do my best.
Trust me, the last thing I want is for any of my kids to take any of my paths that I've taken. No, not to talk shit, but
I get you. Yeah,
you know,
I feel the same way, bro.
You know, Danny. You know,
And sometimes they want to gravitate naturally.
We've all had a rough life, and you know, crazy things happen or whatnot. But you know, what I mean, like, I never would want them to go through the shit that we went through.
I know exactly what you're saying, bro, and I feel fortunate that my two older ones, like they got a good head on their shoulders. They're pretty wise in certain things for their age.
Wrestling too, man.
And well, Joey's really good.
I remember seeing videos and matches. I'm like, damn, these kids are good.
Yeah,
these kids are real good.
You know, and you know, in certain things, you know, there's I'll be honest, there's stuff, you know, needs work, but there's other stuff where, like, things that I would think of doing at their age, they're like, hell no, they're not having that, which is good, because that means they're gonna make a lot less. They're gonna make mistakes, but they're gonna make a lot less mistakes than what I did.
You know what I mean? A better start than that's what you want as a parent. You want to give them that better start than what you started at.
Yeah, bro. And speaking of jiu-jitsu, my little one, Sonny,
ya se está durmiendo la nana.
I know. Right now, I will finish off with this. My little one, Sonny, he's 9 years old, and I showed him a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and dude, he got the head and arm triangle, bro. The other day I was laying down, he went in there, you know, because I was teasing his mom, so he comes in as Superman trying to protect his mom. He comes in and he wrapped me up, bro, and he tied it. Hey, dude, he got me perfect right on the carotid artery, bro. And I was like, get off of me, you know what I mean? Because, dude, I felt like, bro, and he goes, well, you taught me? I go, yeah, I taught you, but you better not do that shit at somebody at school, man. I'm going to get sued. I'm going to get thrown in jail. But, bro, he wrapped it up and he sunk it and tied it. And I was like,
come on, man, you should have went for the bite. You should have went for the nostril pull.
Bro, I was about to elbow his little ass, bro. But he knows how to Google CPS.
Oh, man.
But anyways, brother, with that said and done, you know what? I got one more thing, dude.
Good interview.
On that, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you for this, bro. That shit was amazing.
I almost forgot.
You guys are amazing.
Caesar.
And I miss everybody that wasn't here. I'm sorry that we didn't call you guys out. Like, fuck, dude. We're missing a lot of people.
We're missing a lot.
Let's start naming there. Let's try to name most of them.
Yeah, dude. Name them. Should throw them out there.
Tell me, there's thousands of people that came through that gym.
Let's go with the coaching first. Well, we already named them, right? And then Gabriel Godinez, Aaron Barrios, Zach Taylor,
Luis, what?
Justin.
Bro, you can go on.
Luis, Big Luis.
Yeah, Big Luis.
Oh, Luis Romero. Luis Romero.
I had him in Hopeville.
Yeah,
Luis Romero.
Yeah.
The Torres is the
Johnny Torres.
Johnny and his brother is like they're still cool.
Caleb, AJ,
we can go on forever. But again, thank you to everybody that helped me get better. That's it.
Hold on, keep going, cause I'm doing
Keith from Viper Jiu-Jitsu. That always had the door open for us too. Keith. Jason Barniski was
Jason.
Part of that.
Barniski, El Keith, si cierto.
It was just one of those.
He still does that. The combat.
I think he still has the combat.
Sport stuff. Yeah.
All right, my brothers. I try to do this. Eventually, I'm gonna end up running out, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. But you know, I always like to give my guests a parting gift, brother.
Oh, what's this?
This is our official first edition. EazyDpodcast.
That's pretty cool.
Shirt. Size.
Large.
Hey, this guy.
I'm not medium no more.
Large? For real? Yeah, you're yoked, bro.
Let me see. What is this? A large?
That's a large.
That'll fit you.
Yeah.
It might shrink a little bit.
Oh, then XL.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see if it's gonna shrink.
I think it's gonna shrink. I think it's because the one I got me an XL, and it did shrink a little bit.
Yeah, give me an XL because those are anyways a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, check it out. Hopefully you like them. I was thinking because I do want to do some upgrades to the podcast.
Hey, también el Tony Romero. He used to always help me set up.
And so I was thinking of maybe putting them up on my
one of the
Facebook.
coaches.
It's sad that we're going to miss so many people.
Yeah.
And don't be mad at us, but you know who you are, and you got a little piece in our.
Yes.
Hey, when you see this podcast, throw your name on there.
Yeah. Throw your name on there.
Give us a shot.
Throw a memory out, bro, because that's kind
throw
of
a memory.
That's what I was looking at. Like
whoever looks at this video, throw your favorite memory.
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, we forgot stories. We can have it's endless amount.
Yeah,
and I don't want to get more into it.
Yeah,
it's just there's endless amount of story in the fuck. How many years?
I just saw today Sharky.
Shark,
Chicky.
So when I posted the podcast that I was gonna have you guys on, you guys saw there was a lot of support and a lot of people looking forward to it. Especially there was one of them that somebody said like, "Oh man, this is gonna be good," and it made me feel good because that means that you guys have reached and touched people and they remember you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like people still know and remember the names, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know who always stands out in mind, like always there? Joe Mendoza. He's always the dude with the curly hair. Is always
Yeah. He used to help out like taping and everything at the fights.
He's always there happy.
He was
to
part
see
of the commission.
Hey, what's up, brother? You always be happy.
You remember his dad used to referee boxing.
Joe, man, that guy
Joe Mendoza,
there happy. Every
curly
time every time he saw someone, man, he's happy. He's always happy.
He's always been a cool dude. You know what I mean? I don't think he's part of the commission anymore because
I was thinking of one of our fighters.
That's what I was thinking too.
Fighter. I was like,
Joe,
I don't remember Joe.
Yeah, but when it comes to the team, bro, they know who they are.
They know who they are.
They're not being, missed. Like we don't mention you guys, but you know who you are.
You know
because
who you are.
The thing is that you can have the shirt, wear the shirt, brag about.
And shout out to all the other clubs here in the valley. Not throwing anybody down or talking nobody less.
Like we mentioned earlier, Ichinoue Dojo. You know what I mean? What Pepe's doing over there with his fighters and everything. I think he even has a kids program going on in Mexicali. So shout out to Pepe.
Chinito too. He's always fighting too.
Gracie and Brawley's doing big things too. They still got guys in there. Pee-wee and his wrestling team. It just. The prospects are coming up quick.
You know that I'm gonna reach out because that was another one I wanted to have Pee-wee. You know what I mean? But I'm like, man, I only got so many mics because there were so many people.
And I think you could do that, bro, and get a different perspective of what someone saw.
What we did.
Yeah, dude, it's you're gonna have to do it that way.
From the students to the coaching. Their way.
Yeah, because Pee-wee and Ruben, man, those are
they got a different world. They got a different story.
Man, they got a. I remember.
And then Fernie, they're he was always all about it. With the regulators, he was sponsoring, helping, and
So that's
and all their crew, all the regulators, they had a cool little thing. And that's another thing. Like they started their own thing. It was like handle it. Regulators and all that.
Yeah, and not just on the MMA either. Like that's why I had like Fernie on.
Fernie, and that guy.
And I want to reach out to a couple other boxing.
Like with Logan and his ATAP, they did good out there with Joe Diaz.
It
was just different. People kind of. I see a lot of us and other teams because those guys just kind of branched off and. They take what we taught and they're I'm gonna go to this team. Dude, go, man. Go. So I never had any problem with people going anywhere else. It was just to spread the love, man. Spread what we taught them.
And that's what you want. You want your fighters to progress and reach that next level. And obviously we've been harping on this all night. Perfect example is Rafa. You look at Rafa. He's representing. Another one that
did kind of turn into a Rafa podcast.
Yeah, it did. It's like a tribute to him.
Good job.
And I've thought about it too. I don't know if I should mention it while we're recording, but of reaching out because he is a local guy and he has reached the highest level in a combat sport is Andy Reese.
You know what I mean? Andy Reese.
You know what I mean? And
remember him as a little gordito cow, bro.
You know what I mean? And I'd love to have him on, but like I told, I was telling somebody, my sons or my wife, I'm like, you know what? He's been on the biggest platform in the world. You know what I mean? you know, I mean, I'll probably reach out. And if he has time, if he, you know, he sure as hell ain't gonna run 4 hours like we did today. You were like, man, I'm gonna charge your ass. But no, that's another guy that I would like to reach out, you know, and
my company will be sending you the bill tomorrow, sir.
Yeah.
This overtime.
My invoice will be in the mail.
No kidding. One's gonna say the barbershop, Ulises Cortez Consulting. You know,
like my wife said to get
he's like, hey dog, you need to fix the ticket sign.
No.
But anyways, bro, with that said,
Hey, wait, no le pagas al Caesar. He's gonna pull you over right there.
Get me for tinted windows. Thank you, Canales.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You guys are always gonna have a special place in my heart. Team United forever, man.